eliminated from Camp Darling Island today. He's at risk at the very least, and so
he's definitely at risk.
So, we got to keep an eye out on some of these names. It'll be nice when we get a little bit closer to it, but Khalil Benson, I mean, there's no denying it now, and I don't think you and I are. It's obviously an actual battle. The question is, can he win the battle as an undrafted free agent rookie right tackle? And, that question we'll have to find out eventually.
We're going to talk some Royals baseball here in just a little bit as well, as Noah Cameron continues to pitch extremely well. He has figured it out again ever since he started calling his own games, too. He's taking control of his career and his outings, and it's led to some great results. So we'll get to that in a bit. But before the show today, we were actually talking to Jesse Newell over at The Athletic about a bunch of different things, and I saw he shortly after there put out a tweet. I thought it was really interesting. He found these numbers from True Media. So there were 8 NFL that have averaged 39 yards per drive since 2000. Okay, 8 teams averaging 39 yards per drive since 2000. And here are their records. So the Saints in 2011 averaged 39 yards per drive. They went 13-3. The 2020 Chiefs averaged 39 yards per drive. They went 14-2 in 2020. In 2021, the Chiefs were 12-5 after going and averaging 39 yards per drive. The 2018 Chiefs, 12-4. The 2019 Ravens, 14-2. The 2025 Chiefs, yes, last year's Chiefs, who had 6, who were 6-5 or whatever, or won 6 games when they did that. The Patriots, 16-0, and then the 2022 Chiefs, 14-3. So out of the 8 teams, the Chiefs are on there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of the 8 times since 2000 that a team averaged 39 yards per drive, it was the Chiefs.
So I'll admit, last year's numbers were boosted by a couple of bad defenses early, right? They lit it up against the Ravens and the Raiders at a time when we were like, yeah, this team's getting ready to take off, and here we go, right? Like this team's getting ready to let it rip, and it's going to be a problem for everybody in the league. But I think it just kind of proves what we know a little bit, which is maybe there is a little bit less work to do in getting them back to where they need to be than we think. And so, because there are some of those, but I'm tired of waiting to say, Mahomes looks like himself, this offense looks like itself. People fear them, they're dangerous, they can, not score at will, but score a lot easier than most of the teams in the league. This stat would make you think, maybe it's not that far off. Just as long as people are available, just as long as Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice are available, just as long as some of these guys are out there and playing. And Ken Walker, I mentioned it on the drive yesterday. Go back, I was like, that should immediately make a nice impact on their offense. I'm sorry,
absolutely.
That's one of the biggest upgrades they've made at any roster position in the entire Andy Reid era. Like what it was the previous year to what it turned into. Whether it be the awful offensive line to Orlando Brown Jr. or bad safety play to Tyrann Mathieu. It's one of the biggest upgrades position-wise they've made in a long time. And so I assume, I don't think surprisingly, that will make a big impact on it. But aren't you, these numbers would suggest, is it that far off, or were they beating up on bad offenses? Because that was, admittedly, when they were on the heat, that was when we thought, oh, they're fine.
But it was the Commanders. The Lions who ended up not being quite as good.
The Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens defense was awful last year, right? It was just as bad, I think, in yards and points per game as, several of the other defenses we make fun of. Cincinnati and the Cowboys and some of these other teams that struggled.
Yeah, they beat up on the bad teams, and then, of course, they really struggled against anybody that was a playoff team last year.
Well, and that's the part, I guess. And, look, those stats are the stats. I mean, they support the fact that the Chiefs can score a little bit or should have been able to score a little bit. And, Drew, I think, remind me, but I'm pretty sure that you have been one of the louder, last year, and I think going into this offseason a little bit when we talk about this offense, you've highlighted the obvious, which is, hey, if you're moving the ball a lot, maybe you just need red zone to be able to score there. Anybody think Ken Walker helps in the red zone?
He should.
Yeah, probably. Right.
He better. I mean, that's absolutely where he has to help them, and then not to mention, this overall scheme has to be just better, whether we're talking and handing off to Kenneth Walker or going back to the RPO stuff, right? If you're more effective with that and you got a first and goal at the 8-yard line, is it predictable? Is it something where defenses have to honor the run game, not just for Walker, but also because Mahomes is possibly going to hand the ball off instead of automatically throwing it every single time? And then who's the red zone target? We know Travis Kelce over the years has been that, but who else can step up in the red zone? And that's where Cyrus Allen, if he actually emerges as somebody, could be exciting. Yep. That's not going to really be a Tyquan Thornton spot, but a Cyrus Allen, obviously Rashee Rice.
Maybe you can finally get Wiley or Brenningstool involved at all down there.
Well, our guest yesterday.
Yeah, or our guest yesterday in Noah Gray, who had an awful year, if we're being honest, last year, and is at risk of losing his work for the Kansas City Chiefs going into next season. And so they have options, but I would think at least the threat, because that's always what I think has burned them the last couple of years in the red zone, is they throw a lot more than most teams in the red zone. Fine. You have Patrick Mahomes. I don't blame you. But when you have average wide receivers and no running game, well, then what's the respect? Why is anyone challenging you in that way? And so I think they just got stuck in a rut creatively maybe, or maybe just talent-wise, where it wasn't as easy to score down there. But also, scoring also should come from a play that exists 30 yards out. Those 39-yard drives, this is the problem with their offense last year. Every drive took 39 yards. Every drive took 60. Every scoring drive was 11 plays for 77 yards and a field goal last season. And that was inevitably the issue, is that everybody fizzles out, Gold, when you make them be right for 11 straight plays. We just know that Jawan Taylor's going to get called for a false start, or somebody who's going to get called for a holding, or somebody who's going to drop a pass. Nobody can be perfect 12 straight plays. If you only have to go 7 plays because somebody gets 20 yards on one of them, a lot easier to be good.
We've mentioned that before, which is, I think, a lot of times, if it only happens a few times a game, it's usually when they pop up that graphic and you're like, man, it was a 15-play, 80-yard drive that took 8 minutes. What a drive. It used a lot of clock. Yeah, it's great, but if that's how you're going to score every single time, unless you know you're going to score, you're not, you know what I mean? Like, that's
you're more likely to make a mistake.
Correct. Interception, holding call, roughing the, or not roughing the passer,
intentional grounding,
intentional grounding, whatever it may be. That's the kind of stuff that's more likely to happen. You need to have big plays in your offense. That gets back to the Kenneth Walker aspect. He's got the ability to take your standard 8-yard run and turn it into a 20-plus yard run, and it can change the entire offense. So that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, and I don't think he was as good of a big play running back in the NFL. And look, they paid a lot for him this offseason. I will say this offseason of running back signings making him look reasonable again.
Well, Jonathan Taylor, you mean,
Jonathan Taylor just got paid. We know that Bijan Robinson just got paid. It'll be, I don't know, a day probably before Jahmyr Gibbs gets a check.
Yeah, because Taylor was an extension. They added 2 years on to his current deal with the Colts. 2 years, $44 million, worth up to $47 million, $39 million of which are guaranteed. So, yeah, the number with any free agent contract, give it a year or so, and usually the market ends up making it look a little bit better than what it was at the time of the signing. And we knew they were going to pay a ton of money to Kenneth Walker at the time.
They still overpaid based on, I guess, regular market value. But
his cap hit this year
is free agency.
His cap hit this year is only 5.6, but that's just because they had to do it that way. Next year is when it's $18 million next year.
On average annual per year, and it's surprising there are 6 running backs still ahead of him, and there'll be a 7th once Jahmyr Gibbs gets paid. Bijan, Saquon Barkley, McCaffrey, Achane, Henry, Breece Hall, all paid more than him. Oh, and sorry, this isn't updated with Jonathan Taylor, who's also paid more than him, so 8. It's a pretty long list. Matter of fact, Ken Walker is, and I'm not kidding, the lowest paid, essentially non-vet running back, because the guy right behind him on the list now will be Jeremiah Love. Right? I mean, for the guys who've been paid, he's like the low-end pay. So at least that part changes it.
Somebody texted in response to our conversation about the long drive. Someone says, that's dumb. Yeah, let's score 60 points in a shootout with the Rams and still lose. Time of possession is everything. WTF. I disagree.
Time possession is not everything at all.
Not in 2026, 2025, 2024. It's not. Of course, there are times in a game where you need to have a long, sustained drive. You're up 7, you're up 3, and there's 5 minutes to go. Yeah, you would like to have a drive that milks the entire clock. But if you're relying throughout an entire season, throughout an entire game, that you are going to have 10 to 12 play drives of 80 yards, and you think you're just going to do that all game long, you're not. In fact, the Chiefs have shown us you're not, because you're going to have false starts. You're going to have holding calls.
It's also great offenses don't score that way. They don't take 8.5 minutes and 12 plays every time. They don't.
When you need that once or twice a game, into the game, when you want to go ahead and seal the game, you're up by 7 and you want to
you bend them to your will a little.
Sure.
Yeah. But great offenses score at will, easily. I also point out that despite that, the Chiefs' defense has been regularly very good in the points per game department. They can afford to drop a couple of spots if their offense is scoring like that. They can afford a couple of spots lost. in that category if that's something that it comes down to. So we'll see.
All right.
I don't think time of possession is everything at all.
Our training camp coverage presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Again, as practice gets set to wrap up, we are going to hear from Steve Spagnuolo, also Peter Woods, and we'll be joined by Jack Cochran. Let's briefly talk about the Royals, though, Cody. I know last night Noah Cameron once again has shown that this switch of him actually calling his own pitches has made a huge difference. His last 3 games, he's now in rare company. He's doing stuff that Justin Verlander did back in 2019. That's the last time a pitcher has gone through and had outings with 7 or more and 2 hits or fewer in 3 consecutive games.
I'm confounded by him. One, look, that change is right when he started calling his own pitches, and now he's a superstar. He's like an ace. Like
8 innings, 2 hits allowed last night. July 30th, 8 innings, 1 hit allowed. July 24th against Detroit, 7 innings, 2 hits allowed.
2 months ago, I don't think it would have been crazy to be like, well, he can be a starter in your rotation, but how can they slide in starters 1, 2, 3, and 4 ahead of him? This recent run is where I run into an issue, which is like, what are you? Like, what are you, Noah Cameron? His start before that, the last start where he didn't call his own pitches, he allowed 7 earned runs in 5 innings pitched. Is it just as simple as confidence? And sometimes it is. But now, on the season, 123 innings pitched, a 4.37 ERA. He's lowered his ERA by like almost a full run in his last 3 starts. Not quite that, but 3/4 of a run in his last 3 starts. And now, the organization and we have to ask the question, were we wrong on him? In the sense that, can he be a 3? Can he be a solid 2? What is the upper end potential of Noah Cameron? He has now 2 years in a row shown some high end potential. But at times this year looked like he was regressing back to what we kind of thought maybe he'd be. An average Major League Baseball starter who, you got no complaints about, but is also not here to help you win a division or win a World Series or, as Vernon put it, right, start game 3 of a divisional round series. I can't figure it out. I got to see it longer, I think is it. It's impressive as hell that he's doing this. I'm not trying to diminish any of it. I just need to see it for like a longer stretch of time to believe simply calling your own pitches apparently turns you into Max Scherzer.
Well, it's worked
crazy.
for him.
It has.
It's definitely worked for him. I still, to what you're saying, I still think if you're asking me right this second where I think he slots in a contending type of rotation, I still don't think he's a number 2 or number 3 starter. I think he's more likely a 4 or number 5 starter in baseball. So this stretch of games doesn't change my opinion of what he should be on a contending team's rotation. And that's what we can all be skeptical about it, but that's what the Royals are telling us they believe they will have next year, a contending team.
Yes.
Obviously, massive question mark around that. That's what they claim based on how they have acted, and we'll see with their actions in the offseason as well. But I think Noah Cameron on a rotation like that, he has to be your 4 or 5. He can't be your 2 or a 3. Otherwise, you got big-time problems.
He could be a 3 if he's not this. But not the last 3 games.
But that's this. He's not going to keep this up.
But if he's somewhere in between this and like what he normally is, a 4 earned run guy can be your 3. If you can consistently or occasionally put up starts like this. What's crazy to me is he's 2 years in a row. He will go through a stretch where he unlocked. Don't you remember he was doing things when he started as a rookie that hadn't been done since Fernando Valenzuela? You're like, what's going on here? How are you doing stuff since the greatest rookie phenom of all time? We're talking about how we should be getting Rookie of the Year votes. He was so good at times last year. So I feel like I've been selling his upper end potential short this whole time. While I still don't know what he will end up being, I don't think I want to deny the fact that he could turn into a 2 anymore. Because he at least has stretches in which I'm not counting on it, and I wouldn't predict it.
Yeah.
But I don't think I want to just say that that's not on the table based on a couple of the runs he's been in a couple of times in the big leagues. He had one of the greatest starts to a rookie career in Major League Baseball history, and now recently it's all aces again. I don't know what's going on. I can't figure it.
It's a great story. I mean, he somewhat has come out of nowhere. I mean, he was not a top 5 prospect in this organization for years.
No,
I believe he was kind of just a dude. People around here also it makes a great story because he's from right around where we're at right now, right? So
he's from St. Joe.
Look, I get it. I don't think he's a number 2 starter, though, long-term in this organization. But what he has done recently has given me more faith that we were having conversations a month ago. I was worried that he was teetering towards the guy you were going to not be able to trust to even be your 5th starter next year.
It was trending bad there for a long stretch during the season. That's why I can't figure him. Like, if you're asking me, give me a firm opinion of what you think Noah Cameron will be in his career with the Royals, I'm like, man, I don't know.
But let him.
A starter.
He's
I
clearly.
think he'll be a starter in the rotation. How about that? I feel comfortable that he is in the rotation.
He's clearly going to keep calling his own game. That has changed, and it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder about frankly Salvi and Carter Jensen and how they go. Specifically Carter Jensen and how they go.
Because Salvi was out for a while from catching at least.
Yeah, and so I don't know. Is that some people can use that? Is that a knock on Jensen, or is it just the pitcher? In some cases, he likes to be he likes to call his own game, and he found out that's he feels maybe more locked into the game. He feels like he's in more control of it. And it's led to better results. And at this point, clearly he's going to keep doing that for the rest of the season. And I assume that'll be something he does moving forward.
Now, I don't think he'll continue to pitch the way he has over the last 3 starts.
No. And again,
if he does, then I don't even know where to parse it. If he finishes his last 5 starts of the year doing that.
5th pitcher since 1901. Since 1901 with 7 or more innings pitched and 2 hits or fewer in 3 consecutive games. Again, the last pitcher to do that was Justin Verlander back in 2019. Don't forget, this year we've partnered with KCUC, who's donating $50 to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for every home run the boys in blue hit this season. 1 in 8 men will face prostate cancer. Early detection saves lives at KCUC, Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. You see the best in KC. Scheduled today at kcuc.com. Before we get a break in, and as practice is still going on here a little bit, we'll also have a little Camp Darling Island. Tonight, I'll be honest, I know you usually are anti this, but after being at camp for 7 shows or whatever it is,
game?
I'm ready to see a game. I don't care if it's Carson Beck against Kenny Pickett. I'm excited to have
That's the
football.
start. Can you imagine how much worse it'll get?
I'm excited to watch some football tonight. I'll watch the first quarter. The rest of the night will just be background noise, just the sounds of the game. I cannot wait. It means we're getting closer and closer, and there's part of me that does want to see what Carson Beck looks like. So I'm excited for a little Cardinals-Panthers action this evening at the Hall of Fame game. You going to watch? Come on.
It might hit the TV screen. I'm not going to make any promises or assurances, but it might in a desperate moment of because I'm not currently actively watching like a new show, so I don't have like a thing I'm trying to watch or catch up on. So I'm relatively television free. I'm not owing myself like I want to catch up on that show. So it might catch it. Partially, I'll admit, Gold. This is why, and I fear you can answer the question for me. So my son has shown more and more and more interest in sports. We watch a lot of the World Cup matches, and so he's showing more and more interest in sports. So maybe this is the year to interest him in football.
Well, don't let this be his first experience.
That's what I'm asking.
Not the Hall of Fame.
Do I just leave it? No. Is that going to sour his taste?
Yes.
But he doesn't know. He's 7. He'll be 8 in a.
Well, don't let this be the game that he uses for his judgment on whether or not he likes it. But I
also don't want to show him a game in which he chooses a team like randomly. I'm going to support the Cardinals. Like, no, we don't need any of that nonsense.
I don't think you have to worry about that.
I don't think so. Not in this town.
But tonight, I'm definitely watching. Now, I'll admit, and by the time it gets to third quarter, it's just background noise. I'm not really paying attention. But as somebody that, as I'll watch every Thursday night game in the regular season. I'm addicted to it. Fantasy football stuff that happens, the betting angles, all that. I'm excited to have that back. I will not make a bet tonight. I don't think.
I was going to.
But I might need something to give me some more intrigue. Something to have some more intrigue, Cody. Maybe I bet the under tonight. I don't know. I might have to.
You're betting unders in preseason games?
It might give me a reason.
At least make it interesting.
It might. I do not have full disclosure. I do not have a bet on the game yet.
It might. It's got a 50% chance of catching it, only because you get so desperate for the missed action of actual football that it might catch it. But I will say, after Beck. And, I don't know who the 3rd string or 4th string quarterbacks are for the Cardinals or the Panthers, but I'll just tell you, Gold, that ain't going to last, There's at some point when they're already playing the backup, I don't know how much I can watch after Kenny Pickett. Like tonight, if Haynes King gets into the action, an undrafted rookie quarterback, I can't be interested to watch Haynes.
He actually
King.
might be
Do you know
kind of
where
fun
he
to
played?
watch.
Really? Drew, you know who that is?
Yeah, Georgia Tech.
Yeah, he played at Georgia Tech.
I don't know that.
He was a very good
think
college
I catch
quarterback.
Georgia Tech football?
He was very good.
Georgia Tech
I watch
football's
enough college
pretty good,
football. I
Cody.
don't watch any Georgia Tech
Georgia Tech
football.
football has been
They
pretty
were
good
good
the last
last
couple
year.
years.
Haynes King.
They've been pretty good, Cody, the last couple years.
Have they been in the college football playoff?
No.
Not good enough. Have they been ranked?
You know how many teams are not good enough then?
They were ranked at one point.
LSU's not good enough, Cody, then.
I didn't watch a lot of LSU the last couple
I guess
years.
they made it in
Text
2020
lines
when it was
informing
14,
me
but still.
some of the betting trends tonight. They said the overs hitting last 4 Hall of Fame games.
Oh, wow. See? At least have a little fun and hope for points. You sweating out some 7-3 game in the third quarter.
I don't know. I haven't made a bet yet. I'm just telling you, I'm going to have the game on in background noise. If I want to have more reason to actually care about tonight, you can throw $5 or $10 on the total.
5 or 10? Right.
He just has a little juice.
What do you want me to throw? What did you want me to throw on it?
2,000.
No, like
Put a real number
you're
on it.
betting on the Hall of Fame game. It's like the preseason before the preseason. You should
Yeah,
be betting
$5 or
like,
$10. That's
you
why
should
it's
be
not
betting
$25 or $50.
You bet
$8.
$8.
No, not
$8.
$5-10. That's like just
$1.
kinda like,
I'll be honest. $1 just doesn't do anything for me.
I'm not watching over $1.
It just no. I mean,
It'd be a
I'm
15-player parlay.
Yeah, legitimately betting $1 on the total just doesn't get me excited to watch.
Alex too rich for that. Drew.
Apparently,
Look, I don't bet $1.
I guess so.
You don't bet. Yeah, you don't bet $1 either. That just doesn't. That's not doing anything.
My minimum bet for something like I'm just like.
But we don't unit shame. We don't unit
Our
shame.
tax
No,
brackets
that's
are
true.
different, I suppose. Then.
Okay, all right.
I bet $1
I
all
mean,
the time.
the difference between $1 and betting $5. Come on now, stop.
I want to bet my $1 to win 67 cents. All right,
That's
what I want to do.
That just does.
That's what
Keeps
I
them
wanna do
engaged,
sometimes,
Whatever works for
Whatever
you, Drew.
works.
You know, whatever works. No judgment here.
I can't be betting $10.
On a Hall of Fame game?
Oh yeah, on a Hall of Fame game especially, no chance.
I mean, any more
I
$10.
watch
What's that
them.
getting you? Like an eighth of a tank of gas?
Chipotle burrito.
Is it even getting you
See,
that?
there's the incentive.
Yeah, so I can.
He's saying lunch is
So
free
it says the
tomorrow,
minimum bet is 9 cents. Let's see if the
They'll
minimum-
let you bet 9 cents?
Look, I'll be honest. If you're we don't unit
That's
shame,
insane.
but we don't unit
9
shame. But if
cents
you're
is
betting 9
crazy.
cents to win a cent, I mean, I
That
just don't
is
know what we're doing. I mean, what's the point?
Let's do so. Let's put $1,000 on a Hall of Fame game.
No, stop.
1 year.
outta here.
Stop.
Me and you, $500 each, Gold. It'll pay for our entry to Circa if we get it right.
Yeah, we need to get our entry together. Again, I don't have a bet on tonight yet, but I'm just telling you there's a decent chance I'll have a bet on the total by the time we get to kickoff. That's all. All right, up next, we believe practice might be wrapping up, although
Felt like it was wrapping up for the last, like,
we were
40
told it
minutes.
was going to end earlier, but it's going longer than we thought. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll get to a little Camp Darling Island, and a former Chief is pretty honest about how he felt about being traded. We'll hear from him next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Red Eddie on hot. Football season is just around the corner, and just like your favorite team, you've got to fuel up to perform. At Break Time, we've got your training camp essentials, ice cold drinks, protein-packed snacks, and all your game day favorites. Whether you're hitting the field or cheering from the sidelines, teamwork starts with the right fuel. Let's go! One team, one goal! Swing by Break Time, your home team for snacks, drinks, and everything in between. Download our mobile app and find a location near you. We're proud to be Missouri made.
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, leading to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment, and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and we specialize in treating men's sexual health issues to help men find solutions that fit their individual needs. ED is a frustrating condition, and many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But the good news is that if you're like most men, we have the answer. Our licensed medical providers will evaluate your specific medical situation and recommend a plan designed for you. And these advanced medical therapies work, with treatments having success rates of well over 90%, which means you and the one you love can have great sex again without the fear and worry of ED. You can even last up to an hour or more, and you may just find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi, I'm Tom Shane, third-generation owner at Shane Company. As a family jeweler for almost 100 years, we're known for doing right by our customers. Our legacy of integrity depends on it. We stand behind our engagement rings with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. We handpick the most beautiful diamonds, then negotiate for the best price. At Shane Company, we put you first because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Back here on Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp with you. Insane show. Drew Nixon producing the show back in KC. Here in just another couple minutes, we are expected to hear from Steve Spagnuolo, Chiefs defensive coordinator, talk more about this young group. Specifically, I'm sure we'll be asked about Peter Woods. Peter Woods also expected to speak to the media at some point today. You'll hear that probably next hour. Plus, Jack Cochran is going to stop by our tent and talk with us one-on-one after practice today. So that's all coming up here any time, actually, in the next couple minutes. In fact, as I say that, Jack Cochran is pulling up in a golf cart. So he's going to join us here, Drew, in about a minute or so. So we'll get to what Trent McDuffie had to say a little bit later on in the show. Also, Spags a little bit later on as Jack Cochran is making his way to our tent. Don't forget, our training camp coverage here is presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. You can download their app and find a location near you. And excited now to have Jack Cochran join us. Our player interviews are presented by the St. Joseph Convention and Visitors Bureau. Plan your trip now at stjomo.com. That's stjomo.com. All right, Jack, we were just saying kind of a lighter practice today. No pad. Nice little break after, 5 or 6 straight days. It felt like a pretty hard practice.
Yeah, we've been going hard. It's nice to take the pads off. We can still get a lot done and still go hard, without hitting quite as much and get ready to get back after it tomorrow.
I feel like Andy likes to put you guys to the test a little bit. Make sure that you can still do it 3 days in a row. Not every team does that. You know that, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been with the Chiefs, but everybody kind of handles those things different. Do you feel like it helps you? I mean,
yeah.
do you like it at the end?
Absolutely. I mean, we talk about it a lot. We like to go places this time of the year that maybe some other people don't go, and that gives us a lot of confidence in our culture and who we are, and kind of our work ethic, and just as we continue into the season.
Anything different? Just vibes at camp? I mean, obviously, this is your 5th year, I guess, with the Chiefs.
Yeah,
you were can you believe it's been 5 years? First of all,
it goes quick, man. It goes very quick.
Yeah.
I remember my first one that goes yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, anything different? I mean, I know you guys didn't have the year you wanted last year. Does that mean camp feels different?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, obviously things didn't go our way last year, and so that gives us a little extra chip. But we go hard every year, so I don't think we have to reinvent the wheel here as much as just settle back into who we are and be hungry and go get it done this year.
So this offseason, you had an option to pursue other teams if you wanted to. You came back to Kansas City. Did you get close to going anywhere else? Did you entertain anywhere else? Or how did your offseason end up going?
Yes, sir. Free agency is definitely an interesting experience and first time for me, so it was new. And I knew I always wanted to come back here. So, you go through the process and you listen to your agent. And I'm happy I made it work out where I was able to come back here. There's so many people I love and so many friends and throughout the organization.
Did you ever like in this part, like your agent, he tosses out a lot of different options. Normally, is this the agent works for you? Like, if I can go to Kansas City, I'll just go there. Does he try to persuade? How does it work,
Yeah, my agent, Christina Phillips, she does a great job. It's a business, so you understand that, so you try to listen to them. But, yeah, I obviously do some inclination that, hey, this is a place I really enjoy, so I'm not dying to leave here, but you go through the process, and I'm very happy to be back.
We're talking to Jack Cochran here on 96.5 The Fan. You become kind of a core special teams player for this team. What did you guys sense was maybe the issue at times with special teams? Obviously, the holding calls were a thing. What was that, and I guess how do you guys correct that?
Yeah, I mean, it goes down to fundamentals. I mean, if your feet in the right position, maybe you don't have to make some of those penalties that happen. But, again, it's not something like we have a good process. We have great players. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. It's just really focus on the details and really work your butt off to put your body in good position so some of those mistakes don't happen.
Remind me, a couple of years ago, I think we had you on, and I think that the story in the street was you were the one who hosted board games up at camp?
Oh, yeah, we played some board games.
Is that okay, so what are you guys playing up here? Who's the group, I guess, who's playing?
Yeah, we got a good little squad of guys that play as Sellers of Catan, so we're a little bit nerdy, A lot of guys in the group have kids and stuff now, so it's a little tougher to get done, but guys like Noah Gray and Drew Tranquil, Cole Christensen, Jaden Hicks is a sneaky Catan player, Matt Ariza. So we got a good little crew of guys.
How long does it take you guys to get through a game, I guess, of Settlers?
Depends how many we have. It can be anywhere from an hour to 2.5 hours. So it can be it gets intense for sure. There's some rivalry.
I was gonna say, yeah. Who's out of that group of players you listed? Who's the most vocal, I guess, while you're playing?
Yeah. We're all like calm until we're not. So there's been some good battles. Me and Noah have butt heads over that game pretty significantly a couple times. But, it just depends on the game. So there's different friends and enemies every time we play.
Is that your main hobby? What other stuff do you do in your free time, right? When you're back at home or maybe you don't have teammates to play Catan with?
No, for
sure. What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it just revolves around being around the people. I love. I got a great fiance, great family, great friends, wherever I'm training at in the summer. So a lot of it revolves around that, but outside of that, like being outdoors, doing stuff like that. So
how long till the wedding?
The wedding next summer. Next summer.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've already got that process started in the planning?
Yeah, we're working on it. She's a little bit more involved in it than I am right now. We're a little bit busy, but I help where I can. So yeah, we're getting that set up.
Do you have like a one thing you're like, hey, a lot of stuff can go the way the other? Do you have one thing you're like, I'd like this one thing to be included?
That's a good question. I try not to be too picky, and you know how it is. Being the guy. They want you to have opinions, but you don't always get your way with the opinions. So it's kind of a lose-lose. But I sprinkle in my opinions when I get a chance.
Yeah, we're talking to Jack Cochran here on 96.5 The Fan. Just back to football for just a second. Just this linebacking group this year, what you guys see. Obviously, Leo's no longer with you guys. Was a key piece for on special teams. What's it look like now without him out there and with still a couple experienced guys, yourself included, but Nick Bolton and Drew Tranquil coming back?
Yeah, obviously we miss Leo both, not only as a player but as a person too. He's a great guy, and he's got a unique skill set, so he's hard to replace with just one guy. But we got a bunch of young guys that are hungry, Coop and Bassa, myself, Cole, even Cam and Wes are guys that are working really hard during camp right now. So we're all working our butts off to get a lot better. And then with guys like Nick and Drew who've played a ton of snaps and been really productive, they do a good job of kind of leading the ship for us.
In front of you, though, the name that keeps coming up, I know he's speaking to the media now, and it's hard not to notice Peter Woods. I mean, do you notice that? I mean, have you noticed what he's been able to do?
Absolutely, man. We love the big guys at the linebacker, and they make our jobs easier. Yeah. So, Peter's learned a lot. He's incredibly talented, and he's really focusing in on learning the scheme and doing things our way, but he's got a really bright future ahead of him. So love the way he works and really happy he's a Chief.
We know Spags is really detailed. He's really careful with all that stuff. They say it takes a long time to learn a system. Does he task you guys with something individually he wants you to work on? Like, hey, Jack, here's one thing I think you can get better at. And this offseason, did he do that for you?
Yeah, as the year gets over, we all, in our exit meetings, we have our conversation with our position coaches and with Coach Spags and with Coach Reed, and they, give us some ideas of things that we could get better at. And then as the offseason goes on, we meet again with our position coaches, Coach Staley and Coach House for me, and they always pick out a two or three very specific like fundamental tasks that you can get better at that they think will improve your game. So that's a conversation that happens every year.
Yeah, I think Andy yesterday was asked about you. He was praising you for just your knowledge of like on all the defensive spots. Is that something that, going back to even your college days, that you're really focused in on, or just speak to that? Because he called you out in a positive way yesterday for that.
Yeah, it's kind of just do whatever's asked of you, right? So throughout my time here in Kansas City, I've been fortunate enough to be here, going on my 5th camp. So I've had a lot of exposure in a lot of different positions based on need, but also just individually, I've taken a lot of pride in knowing what's going on out there, and I think it kind of increases your value as a player and increases the value that you can provide to the team. So that's kind of been my mindset about it.
We got Jack Cochran with us here. With each player, we opened some packs of cards. So our friends over at the Art of Sports gave us some Topps Chrome football.
Let's go.
So far, these are the 3 best cards we've got. We've got a Jalen Hurts out of 99.
Yeah.
Burrow 99. We're looking for some autographs still and some Chiefs players.
Do you like cards at all?
Maybe some Chiefs. When I was a kid, I was a big baseball card
So here's
guy,
3 packs. Do you want to open some packs with us here?
All right.
See what we get. We're still looking for some ink. For some ink.
Do we sell these then if we get a good one?
Well, we joked.
I asked maybe Jaden. I said, hey, if we get like a $20,000 card, can we just go 50-50?
Yeah, well, we can go 30.
Yeah, it was Xavier. We asked him. He's like, what? We said, what if we pull like a $20,000 Josh Allen auto or something?
Yeah.
And he didn't seem like he wanted to split the profit.
Well,
I
did open the package.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'll be a nice guy. I'll give you guys
let's see what we got.
Your third. All right, we got a Sauce Gardner.
All right.
Colts Sauce Gardner.
Okay, just a base card there.
That's a good one. All right. Sure, that's
just base. Yeah.
Yep. We got Cameron Dicker.
All right.
Dicker the kicker.
All right.
Little division rival there.
Yeah.
He's a good kicker.
Good kicker. I can kick the ball for sure.
Cam Dicker. All
okay.
Right.
Is that Malik Neighbors?
Malik Neighbors. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a Fortune 15.
Okay, it's an
insert.
insert.
Pretty cool. I don't know if that's worth anything, but.
Some of those ones, they just look cool, but they're not worth a ton.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's fine.
It looks cool. We'll take it. And we got an Alec Pierce with the Colts.
Right before he got paid.
Right before he got paid. Yeah. I've actually trained with Alec a little bit. He's a good guy.
I was going to say, while we're opening cards, who else do you interact with some other, I guess, guys in the offseason from other teams? Who are you maybe close with around the league?
Yeah, I train at a spot down in Florida where there's probably 20 to 25 guys that are down there in their offseason from all over the place. So it's fun, building a little network like that where you can go out on a Sunday and maybe have someone that you know on the other side and you get to compete against. So that's kind of a fun, they always say the NFL is a fraternity, so I definitely think there's some truth to that where you get to know guys across the ball.
It feels like it's friendlier now that everybody can more easily access each other than would have been to play in the 70s or 80s.
Yeah, that's a part of it. But, still when we line up across from each other, we want to kick each other's butts.
Yeah.
I promise.
Once the snap
All right, pack 2. What do we
got?
got?
We got Derrick Henry here.
Okay.
Just a base card?
Yeah, base card.
Crazy.
Okay, Quentin Nelson.
Okay.
God's been doing it a long time.
Yeah, he has been. He's one of the best.
He's a burly dude. Roma Dunze.
Also a rookie.
Young guy. This has got a little, what's that say? Future stars.
Another insert. All right, we got our first rookie from last year, Ashton.
Oh, here we go.
Another division rival.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There we go.
All right, base
we
card.
Making anything off of that? Or?
I don't know. That might be the best card we pulled so far.
Really?
Let's see. Do we have of the pack?
We got 4 more.
4 more? All right.
Do we have any?
See if we got anything good.
We got a Brock Purdy. Here we go. A little Iowa connection there for me. Base card.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Hunter Henry.
No.
Base.
So all the same.
Okay.
There's a rookie.
This looks cool.
That's a good rookie for Jackson
Dart. Rookie card.
Okay, we'll always take that.
Okay, that's cool. And another one, huh?
Oh,
that was a strong pack. All right,
back-to-back rookies.
Let's go.
That
might be good luck.
So yeah, we need some ink still.
If we get rich off anything, we'll let you know.
Okay,
we still need an
back,
but we appreciate you joining us. If you don't mind, we're for charity in the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. We're having players sign these helmet, if you don't mind.
Yeah, let's
see
do
where
it.
our Sharpie go, Cody? Did we lose our Sharpie?
I don't know.
Might have fallen off. Ah, there it is. All right.
I was like, it's got to be there somewhere.
Man. There you go. Our player interviews here on 96.5 The Fan are presented by the St. Joseph Convention and Visitors Bureau. Plan your trip now at stjomo.com. That's stjomo.com. Appreciate it. Jack Cochran joining us here on 96.5 The Fan as we continue broadcasting live from Chiefs training camp. We'll let you get out of here and get back up the hill and get going with the rest of the day, man.
Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Absolutely. There you go. Good stuff there. We're going to also hear from his defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo, here in just a little bit as he was inside the tent talking to the media, plus Peter Woods, as we said, and asked Jack about Peter Woods, one of the names that keeps getting brought up here during Chiefs training camp. He spoke to the media. But I honestly, we asked about the holding. That was, unfortunately, that was the biggest time that he got mentioned last year was the consistent holding calls. And how do they clean that part up? Because you can have Brashard Smith or whoever back their return kicks. If you're going to have the holding calls, then none of that's going to matter.
I will say, and that was just it was the theme of the special teams. The whole special teams unit had issues And that's the part where they're going to have to make an improvement in a big way. It was the worst unit on the field by a pretty wide margin. And we got to figure out which way they can, improve that significantly going forward. And that's really the question remaining for them in the special teams. Now, look, the linebacker core is younger, or it's full of guys who have played snaps for this team, Gold, but not starter snaps for this team. So what do you get next, right? What is the variety you get after this? How much better can it get? That kind of stuff is really the question with Jack Cochran. We appreciate him joining us. He was obviously the first guy who was I think, the most interested
in the cards.
In the cards.
Yeah,
so at least we got somebody who was interested in the cards.
Yeah, thanks to the Art of Sports there in Town Center in Leawood for providing us some Topps Chrome football. We're still looking for some autos, though, man.
Yeah,
we at least got 3 good rookie cards. Now, I wish they were numbered, but Dart, Genty, and Ward from last year's rookie class is what you were
those
looking,
are the right guys.
That's what you were looking for. If only we got some numbers. But I'll take I'd take an Ashton Genty or Cam Ward auto later on. That'd be nice, huh?
Yeah, please.
That'd be really nice.
If at all possible. And I guess the question is because Jackson Dart, I don't know if how good he's gonna be or not.
It's everything. It's everything for the Giants. I'm high on them, but if he's
got a real coach now,
is there a next level for him? And then we pulled a Malik Neighbors card. Malik Neighbors, what that health of the knee is a big question mark still. I think for them heading into the season.
Should we head out and hear from Steve Spagnuolo? He's going to be in charge of Jack Cochran today. He was at the podium just a minute ago. Let's hear what Spags had to say.
Yeah. I mean, because he's dealing still we're trying to be a little cautious with the shoulder blade. And I think you guys saw him, he was out there today because we only had shells on so he could protect himself. The other 3 days with the shoulder pads, it was just really being safe, right? Protect him from himself because you put pads on and we don't want to set him back. But I did think he did a good job. You saw him in and out of huddles, getting everything mentally, tried to keep the conditioning up. So hopefully, we'll see where we are tomorrow because we put the pads back on, but that'll be Rick's call.
What do you need to see him do before one game? I know you're far away from that.
A lot.
Yeah.
I mean, we just haven't had the work. You go through OTAs and it's just helmets. So, and he hasn't had a chance to really, the thing he's missing right now is the continuity with a bunch of guys that are new to him. Everybody's new. So we're going to have to fight through that. I mean, before you know it, we're going to be lining up against Denver. So hopefully we can get him back quicker than we thought.
What did you think of finally getting to see Peter Woods in added practice?
Yeah. Now Pete's one of them thick, good-looking D-lines. That's the way they're supposed to look, right? I think he's got a ways to go. I mean, some of these younger guys aren't really used to the way we do things. I'm talking about all the little things, running in and out of the huddle, all that stuff. And that's for all the rookies. And Pete's right in there with that crew. But when he does get his feet right, he does keep his pad level low, he's a pretty good football player. So it's our job to get him to do that every down, and hopefully that – and he's a willing guy. I like him. He's a smart, good football player.
Is it easier playing inside than outside as a rookie?
There might be a little bit of truth to that because we do, it's pretty well defined as what an inside guy does as a 3 technique or an A-gap tackle. But, we've got a few multiple things in there we're looking at. So I think Pete's learning some things maybe he didn't do before. And we'd like to find out what he can do. I mean, I believe in having as many versatile players as we can. So he'll get thrown in that same category.
Steve, have you had 3 consecutive days of padded practices in a row? Were you able to learn about this defense for the first time?
Yeah, I wasn't real happy with I think it was the second day we had a lot of downs that were 3rd and 1. That's a tough down defensively. The percentages go up, but I didn't like that particular day. I didn't think we did particularly well in the goal line. If I'm assessing the 3 days in pads, I would say we got a long way to go with our physicality and our violent play. And yet you're going against your own team, so you got to play that game. But hopefully we can get enough of those snaps in the preseason games to see where we are.
We're going to go last 3. We'll start with Steve.
Steve, I asked Aloha Gilman about the DB room and getting adjusted. He said those guys are more quiet than he's normally used to. Shamari kind of seconded it and said that he was, that's kind of their personalities. Are you used to these guys being so quiet?
Well, I'm used to Shamari because I've been with him for a while, so I know that's him. And I don't think we don't want guys to get out of character. We had, B. Cook was loud and Trent would chirp in there, and we had other guys, Josh Williams, and they were together for a while. They were comfortable. It's going to take a little while before this group gets comfortable together, hopefully sooner rather than later. But I don't know if the nature of who they are is going to change, the personalities. But, we got other guys. There are guys in the linebacker room and D-line, and I think Alohi will be that kind of guy. He he's still learning the defense too.
A guy that did show some emotion is Tyrann Mathieu. He was walking around here a little bit. What's it like having
Honey Badger.
Yeah.
Well, that hasn't changed, right? Yeah, no, it was great to have him out here. I think he's got to take off today, but I said he better get his butt back here. I like it when he's around. He brought back some of the old sayings he used to have when he was playing. He just reminded me of those years that I had him together. It was fun.
Steve, how much of this camp are you looking in terms of Chris imparting wisdom on the rest of the guys on the D-line, and how much of that is different than maybe previous years, given how many young guys you do have on the defense?
Yeah, I don't know if Chris's role in that will change too much. I mean, he's more of an example leader. He's not a rah-rah. He's not. Now, I do know off to the side he's in those D-line meeting rooms talking with the young guys, trying to, the so-called wisdom you're talking about, Nate. But I think guys just got to get in their own world right now and get that tunnel vision and the job that they have to do, Chris included, and just see how this thing pieces together.
Coach Andy mentioned Felix getting more reps because Ashton's down and everything. He's one of those guys that maybe has some versatility. Where is he now compared to maybe what you thought he could be when he came in?
I think he's had a really good camp. I think he's fought these injuries. You guys know, you guys have been here. He's fought these injuries all the way through. Even when he was playing, I think he was hampered by, you'd have to ask him, but I when I have my brief conversations, it feels like he's the healthiest he's been. He's been in the system now for the 4th year, so he should know it. I think he's had some pretty effective, productive plays. I'm hoping that continues. And, listen, the blessing, Ashton, we need him out there too, but the blessing in disguise for Felix is he gets more reps, so hopefully it keeps being positive.
All right, so that was Steve Spagnuolo talking after practice today. Of course, camp coverage presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. You heard Spags asked about Peter Woods, who we also will hear from at some point, probably next hour, because Nate's going to stop by as well, Nate Taylor from ESPN. He said, look, Peter Woods looks the part. He's what you want to see from a guy of that size and everything, but also said he's still got a bit to go. I think he said a long ways to go, actually, is how he phrased it. Now, it's early in camp, but we do know the track record of the coaching staff playing younger players is great.
Especially on defense.
As great as Peter Woods looks, I know we just had the conversation yesterday about the snaps and how long into the season before you see somebody like Peter Woods getting more snaps than a Tonga or whatever. I felt like that comment there reemphasized that Tonga's going to play a lot more early on than Peter Woods, I think.
At least in those run downs and those early downs. I still wonder on pass rush downs. I don't know why Tonga would be in there.
Agreed with that.
If it's 3rd and 8,
yes.
Why on earth would it be Tonga in there and not Peter Woods and Chris Jones and Karlaftis and whoever's going to be the other outside guy, whether it ends up being Gelati or R. Mason Thomas or others? I'm not sure why that wouldn't be the alignment. It just makes sense. But I know better than to assume a rookie will just be on the field immediately. This is why I'm worried about Montsort Lane, is that Trent McDuffie started game 1, was immediately the number 1 guy. Yeah, sure. He was a first-round pick, and he was available for every single practice the entire time. If you can't get up to speed for Spags, he might be a 65% snap guy. Like, legitimately, he might be a 65% snap guy. And that part concerns me. It really does concern me. So I guess we'll see which version of it we get. But, like, I get the... I get the excitement because I think he looks really, really, really good. And Spag loves to pump the brakes too. So let's be honest. Spags is he's gonna get guys going around slowly. He always thinks guys can get a lot better when they're rookies. He clearly looks like a force though. Peter Woods looks like he can play.
Coming up next in the 11 o'clock hour, we'll hear from Peter Woods. Also, Nate Taylor from ESPN is going to stop by to fill us in on what caught his eye today at practice. Remember, no pads today. They're back in pads tomorrow. So we'll discuss that with Nate next here on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to Cody and Gold.
We're going to try to tickle your tonsils.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Looking to get more out of today's baseball action? Well, FanDuel has you covered. Right now, you can head to the FanDuel app and claim a profit boost to use on any bet type for today's game. That's any bet type, money lines, totals, home runs, player props, however you want to play. Real simple. Just tap claim now and grab your token and apply it to your bet before you place it. Head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. Maybe you're backing the home team to win. Maybe you like the over, or maybe you're calling your shot and you're picking somebody to go deep. Whatever you're feeling, whatever you want to wager, make sure that you use your boost to get the most out of it. Visit FanDuel.com/local now to claim your MLB Profit Boost token. FanDuel, your home for home runs. FanDuel is the official sports book of Major League Baseball and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Option required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable profit boost token restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Give them a problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct. To the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Onyx, I keep having stomach issues. Please make me a doctor's appointment.
Okay, are you suffering from diarrhea, bloating, gas, or oily stools? If so, you may want to ask your doctor if it could actually be a problem with your pancreas, called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI.
My pancreas? How is EPI treated?
A prescription medicine like Creon, pancrelipase, is used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes. Creon is the #1 prescribed treatment for EPI.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. You can learn more at 1-800-633-9110.
Before your appointment, visit creoninfo.com. That's CREON info.com.
Go to 965thefan.com for your chance to win Kansas City Chiefs scratch tickets, plus a chance for the grand prize Chiefs bundle, which includes a framed jersey and a signed photo. All thanks to our friends at the Kansas Lottery. Cody and Gold are live from the practice field at Chiefs training camp this summer on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right, 11 o'clock hour here on Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. We're up in St. Joe, Chiefs practice, technically day 8 for them of training camp. No pads today, lighter practice. That's why anybody that was hurt yesterday or has been hurt did not practice. It was one of those days where you take it easy. So we'll fill you back in on the updated list, but it was essentially the same as yesterday. Nate Taylor from ESPN is going to join us in just a second as well. Thanks to Jack Cochran for joining us here on 96.5 The Fan. Don't forget, training camp coverage is presented by Break Time. Whether you're fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. You can download their app and find a location near you. You can also still watch the show on YouTube, Twitch, and X. Just search over there for Cody and Gold, of course. And don't forget the text line, always open. Jay Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965. As Nate Taylor steps up to the microphone, a light practice today. You told us yesterday that was going to be the case. Anybody that was hurt yesterday did not practice today, as we also kind of expected. But we did just hear from Steve Spagnuolo, and we'll play what Peter Woods had to say in just a little bit, Nate. Did you, I guess, hear it the same way we did when he was asked about Peter Woods? And it sounds like, he's like, look, he looks the part. He's exactly what you want to see from a guy of his size and everything. But he's got a long ways to go, which immediately Cody and I were like, oh, so is he already setting the stage that early in the season we're going to all say, why is he not playing more snaps?
Yeah. Not this year, Coach. No, baby. No, I've seen too much.
He's just going to have to play.
Yeah,
I hope.
I'm sorry, Coach. If he don't play, I'm imagining that Chris Jones is going to be like, why?
Can you make my job
easier,
please?
They got to keep Chris fresh.
Yes, exactly. So, no, he has no choice. I just think he's doing the best job as a coach to temper, a little bit of the excitement, a little bit of the expectations, but no, man. I saw what he was doing against Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey and in 11-on-11 periods. I mean, he absolutely worked. Who was it? Was it Hunter Norzad? Poor Hunter Norzad.
He got beat bad.
Oh, my God.
That's just not a fair matchup.
No, it's not.
Change his number. Still can't hide out on the practice
field. It's so funny. The comparison in my mind, and I think this will make Chiefs fans happy, so I'm not pumping the brakes on any of this, is that the last guy who was a rookie who, when you got in the trenches, when you really got into the pads and the one-on-ones, and, okay, the first time we're really seeing this person, quote-unquote play football, it just reminds me of Creed Humphrey. Creed Humphrey came in, and I was immediately like, oh.
He can just play.
That's different. Like, he's good. And I knew he was going to be good immediately. That's the same feeling I had with Peter Woods after this first week of pads, where all the physical traits are there. He's intelligent. He's got just a burst to, disrupt things when you're even trying to run the football. He doesn't have to have all of his production be isolated to just pass rusher, but he has a chance to really get in the backfield and make the running back go off course to wherever the play side is. So, no, Spags, no.
Do you think that
he gotta play? He should play 50% of the snaps.
Agreed.
For Brock Rose.
So the way I look at it, and I guess I'm curious. Yesterday when we were talking about Peter Woods, do you think this opens up the Chris Jones taking an occasional outside rep on a third down?
Yes.
So the way I viewed it is it's 3rd and 8. And this isn't out of desperation. This is now an option for us, not desperation like when they had no one to outside rush.
Correct.
And Peter Woods caused problems in the middle. Karlaftis on the outside, Jones on the outside. Is that a crazy look for them this year?
No. And you could – I know Spags has done this earlier in his career, but you could put people like Felix Anudike-Nzama, inside. Yeah. You could do the same thing.
Or Omar Norman Lott if he gets healthy. I see the players.
And, again, depending on what you want to do, you could have – and I've thought about this too, Cody, if he's not rushing from the outside, I actually don't want Chris Jones to be next to George Karlaftis on a third down. I actually want R. Mason Thomas to be on his side, knowing that the protection should slide to him, which should give R. Mason Thomas a one-on-one with whoever that tackle is, whether you want to put him on the left or the right side. You know that Karlaftis is going to use a lot of power to push and maybe collapse the pocket, and you need that guy to come around the edge to, swallow the quarterback to where I think Peter Woods alongside Karlaftis still gives you a lot of juice and a potential one-on-one for Peter Woods, given that the guard and the center, whatever side that is, should be sliding to Chris Jones based on his resume, which should give you, whether you want to keep a tight end or the running back in, a chance for someone to have a one-on-one of the rookie class, whether that's Peter Woods or R. Mason Thomas. So I love the idea that if Chris Jones realizes in the second quarter, hey, the guy I can feast on third down is the right tackle, well, hey, let's line him up as many chances as we can get, from third downs moving forward.
Yeah.
But, they like to use the first quarter and a half for Chris to sort of, move around and sort of see hey, what am I feeling today based on what I've seen on tape, and what moves can I do to sort of give us the best chance. Well, it's going to be even more effective, you would think, if he has some young, productive players alongside him to where he can have much more favorable matchups that can open up things for other teammates.
I guess and it's just they've got more flexibility on the defensive line than they've had in a while, I guess is the way that I view it. Doesn't mean it's going to be a group of all-stars. We don't know yet. Who was it today who was complimenting, or yesterday? Josh Simmons had nice things to say about R. Mason Thomas.
Yes.
Who I haven't mentioned a lot, although defensive players are harder to notice on a field.
Correct.
What do you make, I guess, of his development so far?
Well, I still think he's your third down specialist. I don't really want to see him on first down.
Sure.
I completely understand why once Ashton Gelati was removed because of his hamstring strain, they immediately went to Felix, because that's who you should put based on veteran status, been in the league for a while. Obviously, this is a contract year for him, so he should be on first down. And then you might want to use R. Mason Thomas on second and third down to give you that speed rush, that juice factor. You could even drop R. Mason Thomas back, and I would feel better about it than anybody they've dropped back into coverage ever.
Been a long time.
They had
giving me nightmares of Justin Houston down on Antonio Brown. He honestly, we never give credit for that play? Houston covered him pretty good.
He was there.
I got to say.
He was in the picture.
Yeah, and that was like prime Antonio Brown ripping up the league. And Justin Houston was such a good athlete. He wasn't out of the play.
Right. I don't think Antonio Brown scored a touchdown on that play, right?
He didn't. He got tackled.
Because the Steelers didn't score a touchdown in that
No,
game.
that's true. I was at that game covering it as media. 18-15 or 15-12, whatever the hell it was.
Steelers didn't need to get to pay dirt to advance. I think, because there's been times where they put Karlaftis where they say, hey, you're going to do a wide 9, but you're actually going to drop back and is that Jonathan Taylor you're covering? Ooh, I don't know if I like that. I would at least feel a little bit better with R. Mason Thomas having that sort of option if that's what you want to do.
Better athlete.
Yeah, so that it's not just, hey, when he's on the field, we know exactly what to get from a rush standpoint. So, hey, that's the occasional change-up. I understand it. But much of this defense, especially with not knowing what we're going to get from Mansour Delane between now and September 14th, this defense, and I'm going to probably write about it on ESPN as we get further through camp, like the defense really comes down to this defensive line. Like, I think Chiefs fans have probably been wondering, when are we ever going to really invest in the D-line? When are we ever going to have one of those D-lines that's similar to the Philadelphia Eagles or what we saw last year with the Seattle Seahawks or even what the Patriots could put on tape? The reason why the Patriots won that AFC Championship game is not because Bo Nix was out. It's because that defensive line absolutely devoured whoever the Broncos had on their side of the ball, and the Broncos have a very good offensive line. So it wasn't like Bo Nix was the only reason why they lost that game. It was because they actually got manhandled across the line of scrimmage. That's why you signed Kyrus Tonga to be your, traditional one tech, maybe two shade from an interior standpoint. So we're beyond the days of, hey, we're a secondary blitz-led group. You're still going to blitz. You know who your defensive coordinator is. But, man, the way for them to win games, the way for them to stay in games is for that defensive line to actually make a difference on a down-to-down, consistent rate.
We got Nate Taylor from ESPN hanging out with us here after practice in St. Joe. Now, when you got off with us yesterday, Stephon Diggs had not signed anywhere.
Oh,
yet,
yeah.
But an hour or so later, Stephon Diggs signed that one-year, $12 million contract with the Commanders. Naturally, and you're thinking, okay, was he ever an option here? Should they have been interested in that? When I saw 1 year, when I saw 1 year 12, the Chiefs don't have the money for that.
No, they do not. Nope, not at all.
Do you think they should have been interested in him?
I don't think they were ever. Now that I can say this, I don't think they were ever interested in Stephon Diggs.
What about? Can you say, are they interested in any other receiver?
Tyreek, you've already, I think, hinted at that they've at least kicked the
I don't think
tires.
Tyreek Hill's playing until November, for anything.
Yeah, October? You want to?
Okay.
Hey,
jump up a month.
Honestly, would I be surprised if Tyreek Hill was in Arrowhead Stadium on September 14th? No, I would not be surprised if that happens.
Okay.
All right.
So just keep that in mind. And again, hey, it's a long season. Hey, you said you want to come back.
No rush.
Hey, we know you in town. We know you working out. You know what? When Rick comes back on, September 3rd, why don't you come in? You take a little exam or two. Now, obviously, I'm tonguing and cheeking this, ladies and gentlemen. But, October seems like, let's see how the season goes. We have 4 or 5 games of tape. I know they have the early bye week. It's a weird
I know. I
it's a
hate
weird
how early
situation
it
for
is.
them. So, the first 4 games are pretty much their sample size, and then you can see, okay, how are the receivers doing? Hopefully they all are healthy. Hopefully they're all available. And then call Tyreek. So they were not interested in Stephon Diggs. And whether you are happy or mad about that's your decision, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just here to provide the information, and I think it's fascinating that shout out to my friend Albert Breer.
I was just getting ready to say, have you heard the same comps?
Come on, freak!
What's
tell
your
the audience?
Because of course the Albert Breer report was just about he's hearing from Chiefs folks that they believe Cyrus Allen has some similar abilities as a Stephon Diggs. Well, here we are.
Well, now look, in terms of tempering expectations.
That ain't helping.
Steve Spagnuolo can try with Peter Woods. They can't hide their excitement for Cyrus Allen. They can't. Which is why I'm so excited to see him hopefully next week when they put the pads on, or maybe even if it's in like a limited capacity either tomorrow or Saturday, right? So if you want to come to training camp, come on down because they'll be back in pads tomorrow, and they'll I think be in pads Saturday as well before they get the off day on Sunday. Now look, I said on this radio show, Puka Nacua was a fifth-round pick.
You did.
He was doing Puka Nacua things, guys. He wasn't doing Stephon thing. Now, it's been a while since I've seen prime Stephon Diggs. I think for all of us, like that's around 2020, his first year with Josh Allen with the Buffalo Bills. But no, man, no. I think it's, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you something. There's a clear intention as to why his name came up in comparison because they've been hearing about y'all asking about Stephon Diggs.
So they're like, guess who we think he is?
Yeah, even though they was never going to call that man. So give him a little something, I mean, we could say he's like this player or that player, but you know what we could do? We think he's Steph. We think he's.
I mean, it would have been pretty. It would have been pretty wild if it was leaking out. It would have been pretty wild if it was leaking out. They were saying, we actually think he reminds us of Puka Nacua.
You're like, oh damn, they were listening to Nate.
They're not gonna do that.
Who do you think?
That's me.
Who do you think he like in your mind? Let's take Stephon Diggs off the table.
Okay.
What is his style of play in your mind for the offense? Does he resemble anybody on the unit yet? Is he different than the rest?
He's different than everybody else.
Okay, so what does he do? Or I guess who does he liken to, I guess, in the NFL in your mind? Is he like the Wes Welker-y slot guy? Is he the bigger outside Mike Evans-y type? Like, what style should I be expecting?
Some people have suggested Keenan Allen, which I think is interesting because he's not the right frame, but in terms of play style, we're like
smaller than Keenan.
Yeah, but like what the consistency is and the production and the ability to. The thing I'm trying to, as I go through this in my brain right now, is the ball skills, getting his eyes to the quarterback, playing for the quarterback, which I think is something that rookies struggle with. Like, you're not playing for yourself anymore. You're playing for the quarterback. And the body control.
Anquan? I'm
go.
just like, you're describing? Yeah.
You ready? I'm just, look.
He's just talking style of play. He's not saying that Cyrus
I don't know, man. I'm putting a lot of coal in this hype train. Are you ready?
Yeah, I guess so.
Let's hear it.
I mean, I've already said Puka Nacua, so we can't go back. God, this is gonna sound crazy. He's got a little Jamar Chase.
I knew you'd say it, Nate. I knew it. I knew it.
He heard you describing Jamar Chase.
I mean, look.
I knew it.
He's got like this blend of, in terms of route running, Adam Thielen, and in terms of body control with the ball in the air, Jamar Chase.
Okay.
I'm just now. Look, we ain't seen him in pass, guys.
Yeah. Like, can we please acknowledge that? Can we just acknowledge that we haven't seen him in pads? He also hasn't practiced in like 4 days.
Yeah.
Look, ladies and gentlemen.
They're taking it easy on him at camp. It seems.
If it don't go so well, hey, I'll be the first to admit it. That hey, maybe I should have stopped putting so much coal in this hype train. But ladies and gentlemen,
how about
he's doing things. Look, for the first 3 days when they weren't in pads, when he was getting extra reps with Patrick Mahomes, he was doing things that Xavier Worthy cannot do. He was doing things that maybe a young Rashee Rice was capable of, but not the same skill set. And also, oh my God, it don't matter who they put on him. Now, yes, they can't jam him at the line of scrimmage. They can't murder him across the middle. They can't really be as physical. But Christian Roland Wallace can't hang with him in man coverage. Noah Williams, hey, thanks for playing, but I just mossed you. I mean, he's their man coverage guy. It's wild. Like,
good, they needed one.
Badly, because they were so bad at beating man coverage last year, to where the only way they could beat it was through scheme or please, Pat, extend the play and somebody will get open.
Someone eventually will, yeah.
Yeah, so, look, I hate to be that guy, but, like, can you be – now, again, he might be a little bit more Adam Thielen than
Sure.
Jamar Chase.
Thielen had a nice career.
But
They get
off-
Thielen. I'm fine.
Off the line of scrimmage and from a route running standpoint, that's Adam Thielen. And when the ball's in the air, he got some Jamar Chase, guys.
When you look at, let's switch side to the other side, is I'm obviously excited to watch him, hopefully in a preseason game a week from Saturday.
Right. That's the thing.
In Cyrus Allen. We just had Jack Cochran on the show. How do you view the linebacker room right now? Is it good, bad, average?
It's pretty.
They're missing Chenal, but they've got
Yeah.
they got some athletes.
If
They
they-
got enough to cover it, or how do you view it?
If they had Chenal, I feel really good about the script.
Yeah.
Because Chenal gave them so many options in terms of his versatility.
Just a Swiss Army knife guy.
Yeah, and was always willing to do it, and do his job at a high level, right? That's why he got paid by the Commanders. I think Jack Cochran's an animal, and he already started to annoy some guys. I don't know if you saw here later.
Yeah, they got a little dust up.
Jack, why you?
Spags said he knows everywhere to be on defense. I mean, they might use him that way.
Yeah, why are you tackling? Why are you tackling when it's a not bad in practice? I love it. So he's bringing the juice. He's bringing the effort. I think it's a real competition between him and Jeffrey Bassa. You know, I would love to see Bassa get back on the practice field. He's dealing with the groin. Hopefully he plays in the first preseason game. But I think Cochran probably has the inside track to get that third linebacker job. And again, if we're going on last year's statistics, that player usually plays about 45% of the snaps because Spags isn't afraid to get in base. But how much of that is going to change if you don't have Leo Chenal?
Yeah.
Compared to, like, whoever that next player is, if it's Jack Cochran. If
I think they'll use Connor that way
if
sometimes.
It's, right. If it's Chamari Connor, if it's Cooper McDonald, who's going to be in the mix a little bit as well for the preseason. I really need to see what Jeffrey Boss's role is. Problem is, we only seen him in, one padded practice.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell, okay, he's on the 2 line. He's with the second group. Okay, do you want to sprinkle him into the first group? How's that all going to work out? Who's going to play in the preseason? Who's not? We don't know. He's kind of the question mark. But I like Jack Cochran because the more he can play on defense, and I wonder if the intuitive fans know about this. Get this man off special teams.
Wow. We asked him about the holding.
He said
last
it's not
year.
the scheme. It's just staying focused.
It's you, son.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't say something like that. He just you just got to do your job. You know,
hey, how about you just not use your hands this year? Like I would. If
play
I
with
was,
2 clubs, tape them up.
Yeah, if I was Dave Tobe, I'd say just get in front of him. You ain't gotta You ain't gotta assault him.
Get in the way.
Just
but
get
he's
in the
an
way.
animal. He likes to. He's like one of those players that just, like you said, he's hitting people out here, just like that kind of guy.
He's a maniac, and I enjoy. I'm not saying this as a criticism, ladies. He's a maniac, and I enjoy him immensely because there was a play yesterday, third day in pads. Everybody's miserable. And he's just I can't wait to hit DeMarcado. Can't wait. And it's you're supposed to thump. And he's not me. I would like to thump, wrap up, and bring you to the ground.
He said he gets in fights with Noah Gray over Settlers of Catan. I don't think he's holding back on the football field. He said it gets a little heated.
No, I enjoy Jack Cochran for everything he is as a football player, and I would remind him that Nico Remigio is going to strangle you if you don't get this right this year, because it was clear to us in the post practice interview with Nico Remigio. He's like, well, I wasn't as good as I wanted to be, and I want to be one of the best returners in the league. And
need some help.
Yeah, thank you. It's while he was saying it, I kind of wanted to be just say his name.
Every damn return got called back.
Yes, every good return I had. Hey, I got us to the 40, finally. Wait, what? Oh, no, we're starting from the 20 again.
Now, understanding that they've only had a couple padded practices, we haven't had a preseason game yet, you just rattled off a bunch of names that are hurt. Is there anybody, are we too early in camp? Is there anybody that you thought was for sure a lock that's in jeopardy of not making the team? Is there anybody that you thought, man, I don't think he was going to make the team, and now I got to keep a closer eye on? Are we too early for that, or is there a name?
No, I have a name. His name is Jalen Royals.
Yeah.
I'm off that.
Yeah.
I'm off it. I'm going to stay on his neck until I see it in the preseason. And that's the beauty of the sport. He will have his chance.
He gets his chance to prove it.
He gets his chance to prove it against the preseason. Against the Rams
open up, yeah.
And then the Buccaneers. So hey, as of right now, you're not on my 53. Doesn't mean that can't change. That's the beauty of the sport, right? I would have them taking 6 receivers. And I'm more
Remigio, number 6 or number 4 or what?
He would be number 5 in my opinion.
Okay.
Obviously, Allen's 4. And I like this Armstrong kid, man. This Armstrong kid, you know what he doing, Alex? Playing for the quarterback.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm listening to the quarterback. I'm running the routes the way he wants it to be ran, not necessarily what's on paper. And doing all the little things. It's one of the things that Nico Remigio just said to us after practice. Like, Chad O'Shea is a mature, veteran wide receiver coach. All the details matter, young man. And based on what I'm seeing so far, you're not getting all the details right. So let's see it in the preseason. Like, let's see it when the lights come on. I think there's some talent there, but I'm ready to invest in Allen, and I'm ready to invest in Armstrong. So tell me,
if Allen develops him, then there's just no room for.
Tell me otherwise. Yeah, and by the way, like, is Jalen Royals going to be in the kickoff, punt return? Like, no,
he hasn't.
He hasn't. So what are we talking about? So, like, hey man, when Justin Fields is on the field against the Rams, when it's Garrett Nussmeier, who I'm eager to see, man, get open. Like, do your job. Not pass block, but like block when you're on the outside. Do all the little things. Get your eyes back quicker. Play faster. That's the thing that Andy Reid has stressed so much. Is like, hey man, it's the NFL. You got to play with intensity, and you got to play at a much faster pace, so that the quarterback is ready to deliver the ball. Have you seen Patrick Mahomes' arm? The ball's going to be there, son, and you need to wake up and turn around and catch it. So I'm on his neck, and it is. I think it's all fair because this is year 2, man. And if you have a great preseason game, then you will go right back into the discussion of maybe you should be that 6th guy. Maybe it shouldn't be Armstrong.
When you look at, you've got a more discerning eye, or at least you get to track some of this stuff. I've been blown away with Justin Fields. Thoughts on his overall performance?
I don't
think he's a great thrower of the football.
He has moments, and those moments are like, first-round talent. And then, of course, we will see this probably in the preseason game because I think they should accentuate this. Like,
he should play a lot. Yeah.
Get him on the move. Have him roll out. Have him run around. Like, that's what you're obviously known for. He's got great production when he uses his legs. On a down-to-down basis.
Just makes mistakes. But that's every backup.
It's not even mistakes. On a down-to-down basis, it's a box of chocolates.
You just don't know. Huh?
You just don't know. But there's some throws.
Andy will usually coach that out of you. He'll at least say, keep it simple.
He's trying.
The old KISS method, we gotta get back to that.
I want people to, if you really care about this, I want people to watch what Justin Fields did in Week 1 against, was it the Steelers last year?
Yeah.
As the Jets quarterback, had a phenomenal game. Probably one of the best games he's ever played because you could tell he got all those reps and he got himself prepared, and he was with a new team, with a new head coach, and they went toe-to-toe with the Steelers, I believe, and they lost in the last minutes. And then the next week, it was like, where'd that go? So
34-32.
He played really well in that game.
16 of 22, 218, a touchdown. I mean, that's pretty good.
He was pretty good. And again, he was going against his former team, so there was some motivation there, obviously, as well, against the Steelers. And
ran for another 48 and 2 touchdowns. He was great.
He has talent. It's just consistency and not having this wild variation from play to play. Because there's some reps out here where you see and you're like, man, okay, I'm getting a good look at Jake Briningstool because he's putting it right on the money. And then the next time you're like, well, what happened with your arm? Where was the accuracy? Where was the
Just a big variance.
It's a wild variance. But you know what, Cody? It has informed me, now seeing him for 2 straight weeks, it must drive coaches insane. It must.
That's how you end up in a couple of different teams.
Yes,
being a first
yes.
He's not a starting
That's
quarterback.
why, Mike.
Because they must see it and be like, how can I not just get this out of you all the time?
Yes, I think if I had a real conversation with Mike Tomlin, he'd be like,
could have asked Nagy when he was here last year.
What is this? You could be so much better. But I don't know if it's a confidence issue. I don't know if it's a mechanical thing. I don't know if it's a lack of maybe trust, because once you know that there's a quick hook, you're not as aggressive as you need to be. And so, every coaching staff has tried to coach that out of him. But he has moments, and I just want those moments to be highlighted in a way. But there's been some interceptions here at camp where I've just gone, well, he was never open, and you threw it, and even the throw wasn't worth a damn. So what we doing? which drives coaches crazy.
Yeah.
Nate Taylor from ESPN. He joins us after practice each and every day here from St. Joe. We certainly will get back into in the noon hour, I think, the comp that Nate threw our way for Cyrus Allen.
Hey, man.
That has the text line talking a little bit.
Hey, man. Hey, come on out. I mean,
text line wants Nate to stay off the weed.
No.
Text line did say. You want to know?
No, bro. Give me a couple.
All right, here's a couple. Someone says, how much tequila is in Nate's
No, bro. No.
Else.
You gotta get to St. Joe, baby. No, he needs to go back. Lord, please, Lord. I'm saying this truthfully, Lord. Everybody bow their heads. Please let this man come back to practice. Please. I'm begging you, Lord. I got to drive up here every day. Lord, please make it worth my time.
Up next, we'll also get to Camp Darling Island. Maybe a name he mentioned, Jalen Royals, could be kicked off the island today. We'll see as our training camp coverage continues next.
Stay off the weed.
What's up, KC? It's Carter Jensen. You're listening to Cody and Gold on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 96.5 The Fan.
$30 million in guaranteed prizes you can cash in this football season out in Las Vegas with 3 Circa Sports contests. Entries starting at $1,000, all with zero rake. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Or Circa Survivor, you pick one winner each week, the last one standing wins. And Circa Grandissimo with a $100,000 entry. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere, $30 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help, and help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime to connect with a trained mental health professional. 988 is free, confidential, easy to remember, and available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. No judgment, just help.
Men, if your energy is down, your workouts aren't producing results, you're gaining stubborn weight, losing muscle, sleeping poorly, or just not feeling like yourself anymore, it may be more than just aging. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. Our low T and body composition treatments are designed to help men regain energy, improve focus, sleep better, build lean muscle, reduce unwanted fat, and restore confidence both in and out of the gym. At Heartland Men's Health, we specialize in helping men optimize their health, performance, and vitality. Using personalized medical treatments tailored to your health and goals, many men begin noticing improvements in energy, mental clarity, recovery, motivation, libido, and overall body composition within just a few weeks. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, PSA and T-test, and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you washed that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. No, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever. Now with odor-fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
Sniff the difference.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Chiefs coverage is brought to you by Peter's Clothiers. The last 3 days of our summer sale are here. Save from 30 to 50% on suits, sports coats, and sportswear at Peter's Clothiers. Find the look you want at the price you'll love. Visit Peter's Clothiers at 124th and State Line. Sale ends soon.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Josh Simmons from the Kansas City Chiefs, and welcome into the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day at 11:30 on Cody and Gold on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
We are back here in St. Joe, and our training camp coverage is presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. In the noon hour, we'll talk more about the comp that Nate Taylor gave us there in terms of playing style to Cyrus Allen. He said it reminds him of Drew's Jamar Chase.
Drew, how much do you remember Cyrus
receiver Gold?
Yeah.
How much do you remember?
Hey, look, if he doesn't have the same attitude and eventually gets a ring, and
no, he
Chase
can have the
doesn't
same
have
attitude.
one.
If he's as good as Jamar Chase, he can have whatever attitude he wants.
I would say the same thing. Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah. If he's your guy, you like
yeah,
him.
exactly. He'd be our arrogant guy. That's
Yeah.
fine. I can live with that. You're right. It won't make me like Chase anymore, but it won't change that. I will say he had a sneaky big year at Cincinnati. Didn't he have like 1 million touchdowns too? Like that's the part I think they got lost. He had 13 touchdowns at Cincinnati last year.
He was the guy. Brendan.
But also it's weird. He was like at La Tech, A&M, then Cincinnati. He's a 4-year senior. It's like that's the guy who's just going to emerge and burst onto the scene.
Well, let's thinking of some of the younger players here at camp, and I know they got a lot of guys banged up right now. Let's get to Camp Darling Island.
Oh, give me a second.
Drew will get in just 1 second.
9 players arrive in St. Joe for Camp Island. Only one can take home the final prize. Who will be the Chiefs' Camp Darling?
Well, it is time for another edition of Camp Darling Island. We did have our bombshell edition, Khalil Benson, a couple days ago on the island. He is not getting kicked off. He continues to get first-team reps
he's still there.
with this team. We have already removed Xavier Lloyd, Garrett Nussmeier, and Ashton Gelati. That means remaining is Cyrus Allen. Well, he's not getting kicked off, even though he hasn't practiced. Jeff Caldwell, we'll talk about. Emmett Johnson. Drew switched up his team and added Bassa because he didn't like the
And
Gelati
then he got
pick.
injured after that, which is just a
that doesn't help
hilarious decision.
I have R. Mason Thomas, Jaden Canada, and Jalen Royals. We just talked to Nate about Jalen Royals. He said, hey, he's going to have to show something in a preseason game. Otherwise, he might be in danger, in his mind, of not making the 53 out of camp. Text line, you can help us out. Who should be eliminated from Camp Darling Island? This will be our last elimination till middle of next week, till Tuesday of next week or so.
And then we'll probably knock out a couple people then before the preseason game, and then the eliminations get serious the Monday after the preseason game.
913-586-7965. I think there's a couple obvious names we have to talk about. We need to talk about Jalen Royals. We need to talk about Jeff Caldwell. And I think we need to talk about
Bassa.
Well,
because he got hurt. And he hasn't splashed onto the scene because he's a linebacker. I think it's between those three, but I'm open if the text line has another suggestion.
My only hesitation still,
913-586-7965.
and truly not just because I drafted him. I don't really care if he ends up quote unquote winning. The only hesitation on already eliminating Royals, is because he's still getting way more reps with the closer to the ones than Caldwell, and I haven't seen a preseason game yet. It is still a player that was just drafted a year ago, whereas Caldwell's the undrafted guy. But it is Camp Darling Island. So, by all means, if you guys think Royals should be the one eliminated, that's fine. I push back only because, as Nate said, I would like to see one preseason game out of him. But you tell me where you guys are thinking.
So, I saw him make a catch today. I wouldn't pretend like it was anything big. He beat Connor on a pass from Justin Fields, but the Chiefs didn't tweet about it.
Right.
So, it's not like, and he wasn't tweeted about yesterday, and I went back. He hasn't been tweeted about really at all. So it's not like I can say the thing that helps Jeff Caldwell. The only reason why we'd even probably consider him is the measurables. He's a freak. He's a freak. He's like 6'4", and he's like Calvin Johnson off the charts athleticism. That was the reason I drafted him initially. I'd give Bassa, because he's a chance to be a starter, a pass for a day. If Jalen Royals survives this week, just because we want to give him a chance to get through the weekend or get Cyrus Allen back, I'm happy to make the argument for my guy, Jeff Caldwell, to get kicked off. But I wouldn't mind the conversation around there. Someone says best ability is availability as it relates to Bassa, so he's got to be gone. There's two different people saying that.
Someone says get Royals out of here.
Look, I mean, in fairness, Royals is available, and he still can't get on the field. So, I mean, it's...
I'll say, I don't think Royals is all that good. And the fact that Nate Taylor's doing, taking him down. But he also said, he said, get him in a practice in which somebody's available, maybe give it. The obvious answer is probably Jeff Caldwell. But I'm open. Who would you vote for, Drew, if you could just vote for anybody?
I would probably do Caldwell. Have we heard anything about Jaden Kennedy? I know he's a rookie.
Nope, he's gotten real quiet since rookie minicamp.
Time.
Busy talked about during rookie minicamp. I haven't heard much about him since then.
Not rookie minicamp.
The rookie part of training camp.
Rookie minicamp was 2 months ago. Just a week and a half ago he was being talked about.
When it was when it was the training camp of the rookies, he's getting a lot of buzz. Since then,
nothing. Yeah,
quiet, admittedly. But he's still above Royals, Bassa, and Caldwell. Like, if I were voting,
and none of us
he'd be on my list if it was only those guys remaining. He'd be off.
Emmett Johnson hasn't done anything, but I think we all recognize none of us really want to kick him off the island yet because the
preseason game's going to come and he might have 87 yards.
I think he's going to have a decent preseason game. As we said yesterday, the question for him is the pass protection. But based off of who's most likely next Saturday to have a big preseason game? Cyrus Allen, Emmett Johnson, R. Mason Thomas.
Caldwell might be above Royals in that, but you know what?
I still think that
we're never going to put a. We could put a. I will admit,
if he gets back, Drew, he's got depending on how severe this groin strain is.
If Jeff Caldwell has 77 yards, we'll put a second bombshell back on the island. Who cares?
The only two people I think we should talk about today truly is it comes down to Caldwell and Royals.
Let's do Caldwell. I think he's off the island.
All right, he's gone. Jeff Caldwell.
Damn, I thought
Camp Darling Island.
I've got two guys gone off my list already.
Yeah, but you have a strong one left.
I do.
You might have the winner. So, I mean, that's the thing. As long as, Cyrus Allen, Emmett Johnson, Bassa, Mason Thomas, Canada, and Jalen Royals, along with Khalil Benson, still on.
If I take an Armstrong, he'd be safe. If I take an Armstrong instead of Caldwell or Lloyd, if I just taken the right other wide receiver, my boy'd still be there. Armstrong would still be on the island right now.
Yeah, no question. Yeah, if it was Caldwell or if it was Armstrong or Royals, well, then Royals would have been gone.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just didn't draft the right guy.
We'll check in next week.
So Cyrus Allen, Emmett Johnson, Jeffrey Bassa, R. Mason Thomas, Jaden Kennedy, and Jalen Royals remain on the island. Plus Khalil Benson, who's also on the island, who might end up being the starting right tackle.
Well, again, I will say this. We have to commit to it right now, I believe. If Benson wins the starting right tackle job,
I'm not willing to commit to it yet.
I think he's the winner. I think he ends up winning.
I think that this is one of those, unfortunately, MVP is won by the quarterbacks.
Okay.
And if Cyrus Allen is still, sexy position is wide receiver, and reality is, I'd definitely say it'd be between those two if that's the way it ends up going down, but we'll see.
All right, so that's Camp Darling Island today. Real quick, away from the Chiefs. Remember yesterday in the 1 o'clock hour, Drew, I think for Camp Questions, and we'll get to his around 12:20 today. He asked us, or not, maybe it wasn't a camp question, but he asked us about Akron and what they're doing. Okay, it was. Okay,
that's what I.
And you brought it up how Akron was selling season tickets, and if you bought season tickets, somebody would have a chance to call the opening drive of plays for them against Robert Morris, which was awesome. Since then, they have sold out their suites for the first time in program history.
Let's go.
They've also have record amount of genius marketing for them.
I love it.
Kansas football should do this.
No. You can't do it at a Power 5.
There's no.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes. You don't do it at.
If you're the worst of the Power 5s,
they're not the worst.
You're
of the Power
Rutgers,
5.
not anymore.
But you don't.
They're still in the bottom.
There's still a level to it. You can't do it if you're at that level.
If we rank all the Power 5 programs, what are they like? How many Power 5 programs are there? Or Power 4 programs are there total?
68.
68. They got to be like 57th or something, don't
You
they?
just can't do it as a power four.
They're probably in that conversation, but yeah,
you
I
just
agree.
can't do it as a power four though. But anyway, point being, the reason why this is taking off is we are obviously here talking about here the Pat McAfee show and ESPN Radio are talking about it. The Akron officials are going on the Pat McAfee show. This is genius. They also said that it includes a pregame press conference. You're going to be mic'd up with a headset and play sheet, and you're going to be in the coach's box during the game. And then after the drive, they escort you to your own suite, and you get to hang out in the suite the rest of the game.
Yeah,
How
that
awesome is
sounds
that?
awesome.
It's a great idea. Good on Akron.
UMKC should do this for basketball.
Drop one play?
Let me drop some sets.
Now, they said the way this is going to work, it's not like you get to invent a play or design a play. You're going to meet with the coach the week before the game, and they're going to show you the plays that they would normally use, and then you kind of work it out with them.
Fine.
That's what
I said it
yeah.
would be like if it were the Chiefs.
Yeah.
They wouldn't just give you open stuff, but I mean, why not do that?
It's so cool, though. Akron's going to do this against Robert Morris. Props to them. They're getting plenty of attention, and it's led to a huge boost in ticket sales. Genius. Now, I don't know how many people are showing up because some of them are buying them from out of state. I don't know how many people are going to show up to Akron games, but they're at least making the money off their season tickets. That's all they're going to care about initially.
Somebody mentioned,
idea.
Missouri could do this against Pine Bluff. The reason that they, sure they could. The reason they can't, though, is because it would be a mockery. For those Akron's doing it. Akron's best season in the last 8 years is 5-7. They have multiple 2-win seasons. They have a season where they went 0-12. That's why they're doing. They're trying to get people to go out to the state. Missouri should never. Missouri should never, ever do.
I agree.
In the year of we've talked about this too. There's
it's
like
cool,
a pride
but
part
Missouri
of
should not do it.
But in the year of the NIL, you trying to tell me UMKC basketball shouldn't do this?
Well, that's different.
Let you sit
Again,
down there
different
with
level of
Turgeon,
school.
Yeah,
let you do it. I mean, pretty
different.
much anybody at Akron's level or even slightly above
Agree
them
with that. Yeah.
should 100% be doing this and make it part of the NIL collective for increased season ticket stuff and try to improve your program. I know it makes you seem like a joke now. It's not a joke if it brings in a bunch of money and your program gets better.
I think Drew and I are agreeing with you that if it's that level of program, and
I guess at the very bottom tier of Power 4, I'd consider.
UMKC was one of the worst teams in college basketball out of the 360 plus teams. So
UMKC's a no doubter. I'm saying I'd consider it the bottom tier of Power 4.
Yeah, I just don't.
If I were Team 66, not going anywhere, I'm not sure that I wouldn't and I've never accomplished anything. I'm not so sure I wouldn't take the chance. Get some pub.
There's just like that fine line with promotions. This even goes there's certain promotions you would do with a minor league baseball team you just wouldn't do with a big league, a major league baseball team. There's certain things that you
don't do runs a night. You do that when you're the Storms Chasers. You don't do that when you're the Royals. I got
There's
it.
just a little difference. But it's an awesome idea. Props to Akron. It's very, very cool. All right, let's get back to some Chiefs football here. Training camp coverage presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. We meant to get to this earlier, and then practice wrapped up, and we heard from Spags, and we had Jack Cochran join us. But former Chief Trent McDuffie was on a podcast the other day talking about how he felt when he learned that he was getting traded from the Chiefs to the Rams, and listen to what he had to say.
I mean, the whole time they're telling me, we're going to get it situated. We're going to get the contract done. We're going to get it done, like the whole season. So really, my off season, I was like, all right, I'm going to go chill. Knowing the Chiefs, they're going to kind of drag this out.
Right.
So
you seen Tyreek Hill. You saw how that was going.
I saw a few things. I'm like, okay, I'm going to book a trip here. Like, I might not be at OTAs this moment. Like, I'm just we'll get it done eventually. But, I'm cool. I'm sitting back. And then, Combine came around. My agent started talking to him, and whispers started happening. I don't know if they're going to bring you back, this and that. And then literally 2 days after the Combine ends, I'm training, and my Apple Watch, bro, just ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, group chat? What is going on, bro? I look at it.
Someone did something bad.
I'm like, I don't know, bro. Do not disturb. Let me just focus on the workout, bro. And all of a sudden, I see my fiance and my mom walk into the training. I'm like, why are y'all here? My first reaction was come on, bro. Don't come train. This is weird. And then, I was like, oh, hold on, look. And it was just you're traded. And then my agent's blowing me up. I'm sorry, bro. It came out before I could even call you, this, that, and third.
No way.
And I was just like, whoa. For real, the world stopped for a second. I was just like, let me get my bearings. What just happened? And then I found out it was LA. And I was like, oh, I mean.
You were living.
Yeah. I'm like, well,
going back home, it's all good.
Yeah, I'm good. But just that moment, as getting traded, it's just a moment where you're just whoa, what is going on?
So that's real, right? That's his real reaction
He's
to
been
it.
a very honest player. I do think.
Yeah,
that's
we
right.
love talking to him. I again, overall, I hate that he's not on this team. But at the time we said it, and even before, we were talking about a year before. That's the part where I wonder, and he has, his agent is responsible for his negotiating and also keeping him aware of what potentially could happen. I will say, at least in the media sphere, the year prior this time last year, we were talking about how there's a real chance. I mean, I think Drew and I disagreed on it. But we were discussing, would they? Is it a possibility that they would trade him at the end of last year? So
we knew the whole time it was at least on the table.
So it couldn't have been like there's no way I saw it coming. But
they're
clearly,
we're going to pay you the whole time.
But if that's the case, but you also were asking to be the highest paid corner in football. That automatically, I think, though, what he said in terms of the exact moment when he found out, that's very real. Like, you're not expecting it to happen that particular day.
The only thing I would say is, he was around for multiple number one corners leaving town. So at the very least, that's not a position that they've regularly valued, or your agent should have informed you that that's not a position they regularly value. But I also don't blame him, because you got drafted in the first round. They traded up for you. You're an all-pro corner. You're a star for him. We said this. That's usually a player you pay.
It usually is, but
that was my whole thing. It was more of a Delane problem for me than anything else. Is are you going to pay him? If he's a superstar All-Pro, you paying Delane, or is he the next victim 4 years from now?
Yeah, we just differ on that whole thing, because my argument would be, would I rather right now, if Delane, and it's weird because he's hurt right now, so it's a bad comparison, but if Delane ends up being just as good as Trent McDuffie, then it was the right decision. And then in 4 years, if they tried to not to make him the highest paid corner in football and they feel like they can go draft and develop again, that is to me the right decision. I don't want to have the highest paid corner in football. That's not what I want.
The highest paid player.
Not while I have the highest paid quarterback, the highest paid center, one of the highest paid defensive ends.
You can't have the highest paid of everything, no doubt about it. Now, in fairness, defensive tackle they do. Defensive end, Karlaftis is like 20.
Chris Jones, you knew who I was talking about.
Yeah. I knew you were talking about. Or I assumed you were talking about Jones. I didn't want to blindly assume. But you're always going to have 1 to 2 of the, maybe even 2 to 3 of the highest paid at their position, at least in the range.
Sure.
And so my thing is, some of it is just why, because in the end, it's not that they got a draft pick back. It's how many picks did you use in order to get Trent McDuffie, and how many picks did you get in return, and then had to use more picks to get Delane. At some point, I just like them to, if you got one of the best players in football, I want those guys to occasionally stay. I didn't even have a problem with the Trent McDuffie return in general. It's just, I don't understand. I told you this. It's more, I don't understand what your plan at corner is, because you value it in the sense that, or at least lately, and that you were willing to use real premium picks and future premium picks and all these things in order to make sure you get this guy. But then when you get that guy, you don't want to pay him, and I'm like, well, I don't understand.
Yeah, their argument would be, and
confused.
to me, I get it, which is I got 4+ years of, yes, it's still
high-quality
top 10 first-round money, so it's not $0, but
yeah.
Low-level contract versus paying Trent McDuffie. What is he making?
Well, then,
30 million a year or whatever?
So I don't disagree, but why don't you start doing that at guard?
Well, that's
Cody. Why do you keep paying all those guys?
Linebacker.
Or safety or something.
I agree with you, but that goes back to, we've talked about this. Brett Veach has built this roster, maybe not the way everybody would build it. Now it resulted in Super Bowls, but they have valued linebacker and guards and spent money that way more.
Nick Bolton walk. Get somebody else.
That's a fair question, but that's also just how they've been operating since Brett Veach took over. Go ahead, Drew.
Oh no, I was just agreeing that the linebacker should be one of those that Cody's talking about. Where why don't they just go off the linebacker when the time hits, and then you just draft one and you keep on going with the cycle.
I think
eventually
with this regime,
there's going to be a time where they do try to do what they're doing. It might be Monster Delane, but for Chiefs fans' sake, they hope it's not. But there's going to come a point where they do this, and it's going to bite them, and it's going to bite them really badly, and they're going to have to get their bearings of, well, this guy wasn't what we thought. We traded up to get him. We let McDuffie walk, and it's going to slap you in the face really, really badly.
Oh, it could. Yeah, I mean, it absolutely could. I also think under this regime,
with fire a little bit is what they're doing.
Under this regime, as long as Spags is the defensive coordinator and Brett Veach is the GM and Andy Reid's the head coach, they're going to continue to spend more at some positions that we all agree shouldn't be as prioritized as others. And
maybe at running back and linebacker and guard, you can have the 3 highest paid guys, and that's the cost of having 1 highest paid corner. Maybe it all adds up where they're just saying, well, we can have some of the best of the position, but we can have 2 of those guys for 1 McDuffie, or we can have McDuffie.
But that's the way they do.
And they've won Super Bowl, so I don't want to make it seem like these guys are idiots and don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, but
it's just like
And
Most of the league does it the other way.
Yeah, I don't want to recycle the conversation again, but we've talked about this before. You can find a good guard in the 3rd round. You can find a good running back in the 4th or 5th round. You can find a good linebacker in the 3rd or 4th round.
Tough to find elite corners in round 5.
That's why I'm saying, and I know that they got Mansour and they got him as high as they were because they weren't good last year. But from the standpoint of you paying good players and keeping all-pro players, like that was my stance the whole time of you're banking on on the players that you're continuing to bring in being that caliber while also paying big money to positions that we're not used to. And to their credit, it's worked out so far. But at some point, I just don't know if I can buy the deal of, well, Mahomes is going to help figure it out, and we're just going to pay linebacker and guard and running back, and we have to give this money out somewhere, and that's where we're going to go with this.
I have no issue with them. I have no issue though with them paying running back based on their. No, they have not committed. They have not. If anything, we're talking about positional priority. They have not prioritized running back enough over the last couple of years, and so
they've been drafting him in the 7th round. Yeah.
No, right. Yeah. And I'm totally fine with them spending what they spent on Kenneth Walker. I mean, barring a complete shock, I think that is going to work out just fine for them. And let's remember the Kenneth Walker deal, while it does average out to 15 a year, if it didn't go well, Cody, after second year they can get out, and I think there's only like $4 million in dead cap. Like, this is not they're stuck paying $15 million a year to Kenneth Walker for 4 or 5 years. Technically, it's 2 years, and they can walk if they think they got everything out of him and there's nothing left. But I think they're going to get plenty of snaps and yards and success from Walker for the next 2 years.
Sure. Some of this just goes back to I think Brett Veach is a really good, one of the better GMs in football. I don't think he's the best GM in football, and I do think that Patrick Mahomes has helped cover up some of the misses, some of maybe the mistakes in the job. And it's not like I think he's just fumbling through this thing, screwing everything up. I'm not an idiot, but like that part of it is, I think sometimes we'd have made a bigger deal about the lack of investment in wide receiver if Mahomes didn't exist, or the lack.
But you build your roster. But you build your roster, as you were saying. I mean, you build your roster though, knowing that you do have.
That he can't cover
certain players. I mean, you feel like you can get away with, you push the limits. I mean, yes, Drew, I think you said a minute or two ago, like, hey, eventually he could come back to get him. Yeah, but every team, I don't care what sport it is, whether we're talking about the Royals or the Chiefs or the Yankees or the Giants, like, every team pushes the limits of where they feel like they can, quote unquote, cut a corner in an area where they don't think they can as much to navigate the salary cap or whatever other reasons they do it. And if you have success for 5 straight years or 7 years like the Chiefs had, all of a sudden in year 9, if your decision to trade a corner doesn't work, at that time we certainly will be critical, but it doesn't mean that it was just this all-around failure for the last 8 years of their decision. Like, I'll take it working for 7 years of turning over the cornerback room over the 1 year it doesn't work. And by the way, and I know you're not saying this yet, but Mansour Delane, right now he's hurt. Obviously, we're all concerned. Nobody should be acting as if that's not going to work out yet or anything.
Yeah, of course not.
No. I'm definitely not saying that. That's totally different. Because I think somebody looked at Spag's comments today and he had said, what was it?
No, I do not like that Delane's not.
Hopefully we get him back sooner. Before you know it, we'll be lining against Denver. It's like, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't like that Delane is not able to tackle yet and all that, but it's way too early for anybody to make an opinion about Mansour Delane as a player. My long-term outlook on him has not changed. I'm worried about week 1.
I think Spags definitely put week 1 into question.
Yeah.
Good news, maybe that's why the early bye will actually help him this time. If Mansour Delane's a 65% snap guy and then they get a bye week in week 5, maybe he can be 80-90% by then. They need him to be a star corner, so hopefully he gets healthy soon.
Our training camp coverage presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Up next, guys, let's get to a little what's trending. We're going to hear from Peter Woods as well, and we'll get to the camp questions right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Follow the station on Instagram for ticket giveaways and behind-the-scenes content from the show at The Fan 965.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
What's up, fools? Main event Jey Uso here from the WWE. When it's just me between matches, it's day one-ish. And that means it's Chumba time. With hundreds of casino-style games and new titles arriving weekly, there's always something fresh to try at Chumba Casino. The daily boosts make it even more fun. And have me about to get them all during my downtime. Ready for a fun way to chill out and enjoy a few minutes for yourself? Let's Chumba.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See T's and C's. 21 plus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where he can get a battery for under $100. Lonnie, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge. And Lonnie does that for free too. In no time at all, John is back on the road. Ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
There's only one Ozempic.
Hello, I'm Ozempic. And I'm other GLP-1s, kind of like him. Ozempic, you redid your jingle?
Thanks for noticing. Catchy, right?
No.
Okay, then. Well, ask your doctor about which FDA-approved uses of me, the Ozempic pen, may be right for you. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and learn more about Ozempic semaglutide injection, 2 milligrams. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic.
There's only one Ozempic.
I told you it was catchy.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Chiefs Kingdom. It's hot as hell, which can only mean one thing. We're putting Cody and Gold in an outdoor tent. No water, no more snow cones. But you get to listen from an air-conditioned car or the comfort of your office. Cody and Gold are live from the practice field at Chiefs training camp all summer long. Real-time updates and one-on-one player interviews. This is your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. You already listen to 96.5 The Fan, but are you following us? Our Instagram is loaded with show clips, breaking news, mock drafts, and content you can't get on the air, like Thy Royal Decree and Chiefs Take Tuesday. Go to Instagram, search for The Fan 965, and hit that follow button. If you don't do this immediately, Dusty has threatened to do a photo shoot in a bathing suit. Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. Go to 965thefan.com for your chance to win Kansas City Chiefs scratch tickets, plus a chance for the grand prize Chiefs bundle, which includes a framed jersey and a signed photo, all thanks to our friends at the Kansas Lottery. Range Bait with Dusty Likens is now up on the Fan's YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter channels. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station. What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number one on What's Trending, we continue to broadcast live in St. Joe. Day number 8 of practice for the Kansas City Chiefs. Today was a lighter one. No pads. Tomorrow back in pads. Sunday, scheduled day off. Our next broadcast date will be up here on Monday. It'll be technically a game week for the first preseason game. Because it was a lighter practice today, anybody that was hurt yesterday also did not practice. So, once again, Cyrus Allen, Xavier Worthy, Drew Tranquil, Jeff Bossa, Christian Fulton, L'Jarius Sneed, and Ashton Gelati did not practice.
Next up on What's Trending, the Royals winners 2-1 last night, winning the series. Noah Cameron went 8 strong innings. Royals will be playing again tonight at 6:40 is the first pitch. They've already won the series, like I said, against the Twins, so that certainly goes a long way. But yeah, the headline of last night was that Noah Cameron was awesome. It'll be Michael Walker on the mound tonight for KC versus Bailey Ober.
Next on What's Trending, Cody, we got football tonight. I know you can't wait. We have actual
might come
NFL
on for a little bit.
Football. Yeah, it's preseason. Yes, it's the Hall of Fame game, but I'm
Which
excited.
means it's even less preseason than preseason.
I'm excited to just have some football on the TV again. It's the Cardinals, the Panthers, kickoff at 7 o'clock from Canton, Ohio. The game is on NBC. Even just having like the NBC broadcast and the graphics and all of that in the background, I can't wait. Fantasy football drafts start here in a couple weeks. You and I, by the way, keep an eye on Cody and I's individual social media channels for those of you asking about the Guillotine League. We can't do it through the station, but just follow at Cody B. Tapp, at Alex Gold. You might want to check those out in the next few days.
Yeah. We've sometimes Alex and I like to do things in our free time.
I want to see. I do want to see Carson Beck tonight. Honestly, he starts for the Cardinals.
He's at least interesting.
Kenny Pickett, who cares for the Panthers? But Carson Beck, I do want to see what he looks like playing for the Cardinals tonight.
Next up on What's Trending, 3-time Pro Bowl running back Jonathan Taylor's agreed on a new contract extension, 2 years, $44 million, up to $47 million with incentives, $39 million of which is guaranteed, so nearly the whole deal. That according to Ian Rappaport and others. Also, as a part of that deal getting done, multiple reports saying Jahmyr Gibbs is reportedly made a lot of headway and is very close to signing a new extension with the Lions. So we'll see if that deal gets done soon as well.
College football news. You guys know about a week ago, the North Carolina football program led by Bill Belichick, they put Michael Lombardi on leave while he's being investigated for potential issues with the NCAA. Well, another coach is on leave. This time, unfortunately, it's due to medical reasons. Steve Belichick, yes, the son of Bill Belichick, who is the defensive coordinator for North Carolina, has been placed on medical leave. Bill Belichick was asked, hey, when could he return by the start of the season? He just said, as soon as he possibly can. So, just more, even if this one is medical related, just more kind of chaos around the North Carolina program. It just has not been a smooth thing there.
Can we admit that they have, that this is, again, hurting Bill Belichick's overall legacy?
I still don't think it
is. In North Carolina? Why not? He can't even win in college, where the game is rigged. All you got to do is, you should be able to outcoach most of everybody, right?
The way people talk about Bill Belichick is different now than what it was 5 years ago. I agree with that. Now, if you're talking about like Hall of Fame and all that, of course, that's not
He's still
changing.
going to get in the Hall of Fame.
Although we all know last year, we all know this past year he did not get in right away.
That was only because of a lifetime of being a jerk to the media, which is a stupid reason not to put him in. But that's why. That and their really archaic Hall of Fame system that had them like, hey, if you want to put in this legacy guy who you think really deserves to be in, you have to vote him now or time's up. That's what happened with Vahe Gregorian, I think, had admitted that from the Kansas City Star, that was a part of the reason he had voted.
Yeah, Drew, I think legacy overall, like in terms of awards and that kind of stuff hasn't changed. I just think the way, even just the way we're talking about him now is just different than what it was 5 years ago. I think that's what I mean by, it's hurt him. It's hurt his image, whether it's this or the Jordan stuff.
I think that's hurt his image more than the coaching thing is, because college is different. I mean, not everybody works out. Nick Saban was he was okay in the NFL, but he's the greatest college football coach of all time. That didn't change how we view him. I don't think it, for me at least, it doesn't. Bill Belichick going 4-8 last year doesn't make me feel any type differently. The team also wasn't good, in comparison to the ACC. The team wasn't going to win games. I don't know what else to. I don't know what the expectation was. Like, he was not
He's an
going
all-time
in-
great coach. He's supposed to. I think Andy Reid would
think
make
it's
North Carolina win. Like, I think if Andy Reid went to go coach North Carolina, they'd win.
It's so much harder than it is just saying
that's
it.
tough
I think
to
it's so
say,
hard.
but I will say I think Bill Belichick, and I don't know if Drew agrees with this part at least, I think Bill Belichick walked in there and thought with a lot of arrogance that he could just walk in and just snap his fingers
100%.
and fix it and do it his way, the NFL way, and the college game is way more complicated with NIL recruiting. That's where he just was way too egotistical and thought he could just
I think he was a little bit in over his head. And he brought in NFL guys, and the game is different. The game's totally different.
But that, I don't know. That's part of his job, too, I guess, as a coach, is to bring in the people who are good at it. I don't want to give too much attention to it because I want to talk about what Nate Taylor had to say about Cyrus Allen and some of the comps. Bleacher Report put out their top 1,000 players today, Gold.
What?
Number 1,000
players of what?
In the NFL.
Wow.
Number 1,000.
What are we doing?
Number 1,000 was a Chief.
Jack Cochran?
I was about
Matt
to say.
Araiza.
Oh.
Matt Araiza.
It was Matt Araiza.
Wow.
Okay.
The keynote is that they had Patrick Mahomes ranked 26th.
Well, okay, stop.
They had him below Jesse Bates.
Stop. Okay, this is.
They had him below Derwin James.
Stop.
Interesting.
They had Creed Humphrey 14, by the way. He was the top ranked Chief.
Okay.
If you guys get Creed on, you should say, how does it feel to be ranked higher than Patrick, ranked as a better player than Patrick
They had Lane
Mahomes?
Thomas ranked as the second best player in the league.
Who was number one?
Myles Garrett.
Okay.
Yeah,
number
makes
one.
sense.
That's fine. I'm fine with that one.
Lane Johnson 2, Jamar Chase 3, Kyle Hamilton 4.
Jamar Chase is the third best player in all of football.
Laramie Tunsil was
All right.
7. Patrick Surtain was the 10th best player.
Okay.
Derwin James was the 18th best player. Xavier McKinney was 22nd. Jesse Bates was 25. Mahomes 26. Joe Burrow 28.
What are we doing?
Quinn Minerns was 32nd. Patrick Mahomes was closer to being Quinn Minerns' level of quality, in their opinion, than he was Derwin James. So, who wasted their time with this thing?
Wasted their time on a 1,000-person list. Number two.
Are there any quarterbacks
How is
in the top
Mahomes
10?
and Burrow
Are there
almost
any who?
30th?
Are there any quarterbacks in the top 10?
No.
I don't mind that, actually, because
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me
pound
see.
for pound, I mean, you can talk. I mean, Myles Garrett is the best player in the
No,
league.
Myles
probably.
Garrett being
100%.
one, I'm good with. I'm okay if you want to make
He's
that
better
case.
at his job than any quarterback is.
If you want to make
Or as
that
good.
case.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard because, like, when you're
The quarterback has the ball in their hands the most, but if we're talking who's the best player in the NFL, I mean, Myles
Who's
Garrett
the
might
best
be
at the job that
goated
they're
at his
assigned with?
position. Yeah.
But I mean, but at some point, position nobody's got to matter because like Creed Humphrey's as good at being a center as anybody in the league. But the fact that they got that man 14th.
Someone wants to know, Cody. Can you tell
Stafford's
us?
in the top 10.
Can you
He's
tell
eighth.
us who's
Okay.
number 533, please? Thank you.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
533.
Yep.
I
Control
gotta
F.
scroll. It's going to take a second.
Control F.
533.
Control F is needed.
Cam Jurgens.
Okay,
Tate
great.
Ratledge is 532.
Who?
In case you're curious. I don't know,
Hey,
just
Tate
some-
Ratledge, guard.
Some guard for
the Lions.
For the Lions. Why the hell do you know that, Drew? I told you. I need you to get a
Bengals
hobby.
the Bengals were in conversations
okay.
to pick him in like the second or third round last year.
Okay.
There you go.
He'd have been a
Don't
good
worry
pick for
about
the
you
Chiefs,
sometimes.
actually.
Top 1,000 players is crazy.
It's a lot of dedication. I wonder how much time it took for them to compile that.
Too long. Do you know where Rasheed Rice is?
Yeah,
222.
Really?
222. They got him pretty low. They got him below Roma Dunze.
Does it show the positional breakdown, like at the bottom, like where?
Oh God, I don't know.
Like at the bottom, did they compile all the wide receivers? That would be interesting to see where they had Rasheed at.
I'd have to look harder to do that.
Anyways,
but they might.
Mahomes at 26, though, he said? That's
26.
Where's Josh Allen?
26. Josh Allen is one spot below Creed Humphrey at 15.
Okay.
Good job, Creed. Let's go.
So Allen, not only is that, but Josh Allen is now 11 spots higher than Mahomes too. I mean, what are we doing?
I agree that Creed Humphrey's a better football player.
Do you want to know another quarterback who's ahead of Mahomes on this
Okay,
list?
Drew.
Do you want to know what other quarterback's ahead of Mahomes on this list? Justin Herbert at 23.
Get the out of here.
Do you just want to be mad for one final day of camp?
Yeah,
Like,
it's like
what is
rage
wrong
bait.
with
Yeah,
people?
the whole they made it as a rage
Okay.
bait article, basically. Like, come and look at this and get frustrated, and that's the reason that we did this.
Okay.
Oh,
They did it to get people mad.
I think so. That or ChatGPT did this for them. And
that might be more accurate, actually.
If I went on ChatGPT and said, "Give me the top 1,000 players," I bet you it's Mahomes is ranked higher.
You think so?
Get on Claude or ChatGPT.
I'm on ChatGPT. Give me a second.
Tell me where they
Who
go.
are
the
top
15.
1,000 players
Now say-
currently in the NFL?
Based on how good they are at playing their position.
Based
NC.
on how good they are at playing their position.
It also
Maybe
might
that
be
at
something
least.
egregious. They might put
Well, that's
lower
true.
than
Let's see.
They might put a kicker or
just
something
because the
up
year
there.
was. That would be crazy.
All right, I'll let you
I mean,
know.
if they
Ray
got a
Aubrey's
center,
like the top 10 player in the NFL or whatever is what it's
if
going
they
to
got
be.
a center at
All right.
14, I don't
No,
really
it's
know.
asking me what I want. Top full top 1,000 is actually. Yep, hold on. I want full top 1,000.
That's going to take a while for it to pump it
Matt
out.
Ariza being 1,000, he should put that on he should sign a card or a football that way.
Yeah.
1,000
top
bet
1,000.
player, baby. Woo! Top 1,000. I think it is, like, are there only 1,000 players in the NFL? Or did they just decide to draw the line at 1,000? Because he only clicked in at 1,000.
You're saying, so it's not necessarily top 1,000, but it's.
I'm asking if there are 1,000 players or if he's last.
Yeah, right. Is he actually
Did they
the
rank
worst?
him as the
There
worst
are-
player in the
Cody,
NFL?
There, according to AI Overview, so we're going to take that with a grain of salt. There are 1,696 active players on regular season rosters.
Okay, so they don't think he's the worst player in football.
It says it's searching and it's listing off a bunch of different websites. It's compiling to come up with this list.
When including practice squads, Cody, it's over 2,200.
Okay, so they got Matt Ariza. You know, made the list, man. Number 1,000. That's all. I just thought we would enjoy that. That's
just crazy. I mean, honestly, that's a crazy list.
Is that thing still thinking about your list?
Yeah, it's searching.
1,000 people is a lot, man.
It's searching a bunch of different websites.
You should have said top 500 or something.
No, I wanted to keep it consistent.
It's like top.
Someone says ChatGPT is just going to make up names after it gets outside the top 200. Maybe, I don't know.
It's going to be like that Key and Peele
It says
skit,
it's
yeah.
searching the web.
It's gonna list retired guys.
It says
like
it's
Tom Brady's
searched-
going to be 652.
It searched 24 websites, it says. It's currently searching the Cardinals roster. Well, you're not going to really find many on there. Don't waste your time. I should have included that. ChatGPT, don't waste your time on the
Exclude
Cardinals.
the Jets and Cardinals.
Except for
fine.
Jeremiah Love and Garrett Wilson.
Brees Hall.
All right, here we go. Oh, the official. I'm treating currently in NFL as players on rosters as of August 6th. Oh, yes, thank you. Yes. All right, I'll let you know when it's done. It's still thinking, okay?
Let's talk a little bit about what Nate Taylor had to say. I had asked him, because I didn't think it was an accident either, Gold. Earlier today, Albert Breer was talking about Cyrus Allen, and he had said they think Cyrus Allen looks a lot like Stephon Diggs, right after Diggs had signed with another one. By the way,
I got
his
the
list is out.
I got the list from ChatGPT.
Patrick Mahomes was 1.
Mahomes 1, Garrett 2, Jefferson 3, Allen 4, Lamar 5, Micah Parsons 6, Chase 7. This is more like it. That's
a real list.
There we go. Anyway, all right.
That one was reportedly done by Bleacher Report staff, which means just some idiot frat bros on the East Coast that only think.
Oh, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's fine. He had said Albert Breer in the article with Albert Breer had said Cyrus Allen looked like Stephon Diggs. You and I read it the same way, even though we didn't talk about it, which is Albert Breer is saying that because the Chiefs want to make it clear we don't need Stephon Diggs. We have Stephon Diggs, who's already in there. We then asked Nate Taylor, hey, do you mind giving us a play style that Cyrus Allen reminds you of? And what he said was body control of Jamar Chase and route running of Adam Thielen. You can imagine that had the text line really thinking. Look, the truth is that, and this is the point on Jamar Chase. I'm not saying Jamar Chase either because that's crazy. Cyrus Allen's been in like some non-padded practices. But one of the things that makes Jamar Chase great, Jamar Chase plays like and I've been asking for this for years. So if Cyrus Allen possesses this skill and this skill alone, forget what type of wide receiver he turns into, well, then I'm excited. Because for years what I had pointed out is the Chiefs have seemingly, their evaluation of wide receivers is, what if we draft or sign a guy who's 6'4" but plays like he's 5'6"? And their best jump ball guys are all 5'7". Jamar Chase is not a tall wide receiver. He plays big. When you watch Jamar Chase, you think in your head he must be 6'3", based on the way he plays against the guys. He must be a much taller guy than I'm remembering. No, he's like 6 foot, right, Drew?
He's built like a running back. Yeah, he's 6 foot 205. Cyrus Allen's 5'11", 180.
Yeah, so like he's got
like
some weight to put on.
Yeah.
But like Cyrus Allen, if he's got the body control of a guy, and he had 14 touchdowns or 13 touchdowns last year for Cincinnati, if he can give them red zone snaps, take the rest of this out, the comparison he's making.
Yeah, it's just hard
if
for me to get
he's a body control
past
red
that.
zone guy, yeah, because when you hear Jamar Chase,
it's hard for me to get past that. If you're telling me he becomes a red zone guy that has great, body control near the sideline, that's awesome. And if that's the part we're taking
and that's
from
something
it,
they don't have in the wide receiver.
Then great. But hey, is he Puka? Is he Jamar Chase? We gotta pump the brakes. This guy hasn't had a padded practice yet. That's all. It's just very hard for me to have this conversation. I agree, it's different than the past ones with Justin Ross or Jody Fortson or whatever. No, this feels like a legitimate player that they're excited about, that has some tools and traits that they haven't had in their receiver room before, that they haven't seen in camp in a long time, that does remind maybe you of another player. But I also have to, can the player get healthy? He's out because he's not healthy.
Yes.
So
he's got to get back on the
field.
field.
Prove to me you can be healthy. B, give me a padded practice. Then give me in a preseason game. And then, in a regular season game against elite talent, show me that you can still do it. Do it for a couple games, then we can start talking about bigger picture. Is he one day the number 2 receiver for this football team?
Sure.
Or number 1 receiver.
It's going to take regular season games to see what the level of talent is. Now, I will agree with Nate in one thing. The Chiefs seemingly are bad at or choosing not to hide their excitement over Cyrus Allen. They think he can play.
Absolutely.
They think Cyrus Allen can play. He is better than all these other random-ass rookie wide receivers we've wasted time talking about in camp for the better part of probably 10 years for me. Mm-hmm. We have to sit in here and we have to talk about the, Justin Rosses or a million other guys of the world that we've had these conversations about. He is clearly more talented or has more potential than any of those guys. I guess part of me is still just, don't be surprised if he finishes the season with, I don't know what number I'd still lock in, 450? Pretty easily? Would you lock in 450 for Cyrus Allen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like 450.
What are we Yes. That's my what are we talking? We're now that's
a 350. The way they're hyping him up, maybe I'm like, I'd like to see
their 5th round wide receiver that likely is 4th on the depth chart. Yes, I will lock in 450
Would you lock
yards.
350?
Yes.
I'm a little greedy. I'm getting a little greedy there, but anything above that, I'd probably lock in.
Yeah.
If you said 399 and a half, I'd take the over.
If you said 400 or more, I would lock it in.
Yeah, I think Drew. I think I'm probably there. There are plenty of rookie wide receivers who can come in and get 300-400 yards. That to me is not that, because McCole Hardman got that, and McCole Hardman was a 2nd round pick and this guy's a 5th. But that to me is like a reasonable expectation based on the amount of hype.
Based on the way that he's looked and the trust that evidently Patrick Mahomes has in him, I think it's fair to bump that number up, even though he is like a 5th round pick compared to what you're saying McCole was.
I will say the one thing that I think really hurts him, Drew, is that he was the target monster in camp at a time when Rashee Rice couldn't be. And Rashee Rice is a black hole for targets, okay? If you're a wide receiver saying, I sure hope I get some more passes thrown my way this year, you better wait for all the ones Rashee Rice is going to get.
I think that's why 400.
Based on any other snap he's been or played in.
I think that's why you lock in 400, though. If you were to say Rashee Rice is going to miss time, then I think you could. If you gave me 600, I would lock it in for Cyrus Allen at that point. But we know Rashee's going to play at this point. I think that's why if you're asking Gold and he would take 350 and I would take 400 and you would take 400, I think is part of it being because we know Rashee Rice is the one and he's going to take so many of those targets, to what you're saying.
All right, let's get to some of Drew's thoughts so far at camp today.
Camp questions.
All right, guys. So the first question that I've got for you is based around the guy kind of that you actually had on earlier, Jack Cochran. Again, if you want to hear that interview, you can go back and listen to it on the podcast page. He's got a lot of praise. Nate brought his name up and said he's a guy that Andy can rely on, and Andy's spoken highly about Jack Cochran. Is his reliability his biggest strength and actually the reason why he might beat out Jeffrey Bassa for that linebacker spot as a starter?
So I think the only person that can win the job over Bassa is Cooper McDonald, honestly. I don't think Cochran would be the starting outside linebacker. I don't think that's in play. He's going to get on the field just because they're going to rotate, but I think it's Bassa or McDonald. Now, if you're asking what does Andy Reid like about Jack Cochran, his versatility, as he said yesterday, Cochran knows every defensive position out there. He knows the assignment, responsibility for everybody. Very smart football player, core special teams guy. Although we all know last year, we all know his name because of the holding calls on special teams.
Unfortunately,
that has to get better.
He was awful in those spots last year. And maybe, as Nate says, it is the over-aggressiveness that gets him in trouble. I think he's going to be a player that you see on the field a lot more this year, the same as you'll see Cooper McDonald, the same as you'll see Moore Bassa. But essentially, I feel like it's those three guys making up the difference for the guys who are gone in the linebacker crew. It's like three people doing two people's job is how I view it, I guess. So I think he'll matter, but he'll matter more on special teams, hopefully, in a good way,
Yeah, let's hope so with no penalties. Number 2 for you, only got 2 for you today. Do we feel haven't really had Noah Williams' name pop up as much here, just in terms of a guy that's been bringing a spark, at least from what I've seen on social media and stuff. But do we feel any more confident about Noah Williams that he can be one of the big time players to be next to Monso Delane, or if Delane can't go in week 1, to be the number 1 corner? Is there anything that you guys have seen over the course of camp to emphasize or re-energize your level of confidence in Noah Williams?
We had him on the show last week, and we talked a lot about him. Drew, I think if we were to make a list of 3 or 4 breakout candidates for the Chiefs this year, Noah Williams might be at the top of the list as far as returning players. So, yes, look, it's always use this caveat. It's training camp. We haven't seen in games and stuff like that. But, yeah, I think we saw enough from Noah Williams last year when he got his opportunity that he would have been viewed much higher in the draft if you were to redraft. I think he's a player that is going to be a legit number 2 corner for this football team this year.
He has been rock solid. How you're like, well, I haven't noticed him much in camp. That's because they're not throwing at him much at camp. So he to me is a lock for the number 2. They still need Monsoor Delane to eventually be the number 1 wide receiver or the number 1 corner. But can he, look, I'm not going to like Sutton and Waddle and some of these other guys, but after they get through week 1, it goes a few weeks before they're going to be brutally challenged by wide receivers like they will later in the year when they get a run of Jamar Chase and Puka Nacua and, they really go through it with some guys. This early part of the stretch, the first game's kind of tough, and then it lightens a little bit. So I feel pretty confident he can do it. I think he's just going to be the next version of the Chiefs' really solid cornerback room. You're like, oh, there's the next guy who's just really good. The same as anybody else who's passed through over the last couple of years, Charvarius Ward or L'Jarius Sneed, these other guys. I feel like he's going to fit the perfect mold of that.
I mean, in terms of also what we saw last year, there were moments where we were hoping he'd be on the field more often because he was so good. I think we looked at one of those stats on separation from the wide receiver in coverage, and Noah Williams was actually, I think, a little bit better than Trent McDuffie was in terms of being in the hip pocket of those wide receivers. So, yeah, I would say the expectations are high for him, but it feels like if it's anything based on what he gave last year in the sample size, that he's going to be the guy in terms of being able to be a reliable number 2 corner.
Those are some camp questions here on day number 8 of training camp. Our coverage presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. Coming up next, we're going to hear from Peter Woods. We'll talk about that defensive line, and we already heard from Spags mention him. We'll also discuss someone on the Royals who now is giving you some promise perhaps heading into next season in that rotation. That's coming up right here on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Tune in for the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day, starting at 11:30 right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Before the season even kicks off, everyone's making predictions. Who will win the division? Who will make the playoffs? Who's lifting the trophy at season end? And over at Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform, you can trade those predictions in a live market. I mentioned the AFC West yesterday. Let's take a look at the NFC West today. That would be maybe like the Rams. They're trading at 50% right now. So a $100 trade over there would net you $189 in return. Maybe you think the defending champs in Seattle are going to take care of it. A $100 trade over there, since they're trading at 28%, would net you $328 if they were to take home the NFC West. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there is no house. And as probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position, trade the draft pick, the game, and everything over on Kalshi. Download the app today, and when you use promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, you get $10 when you trade 10. That's K-A-L-S-H-I, Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. If a contract involves risk, it may not be suitable for all investors. Kalshi products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ for those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
Men, when addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and at our practices, we offer the full range of ED treatment protocols and can even combine therapies to help make those intimate moments special both for you and your partner. At Heartland Men's Health, we take great pride in providing excellent care and treatment options for ED. Our medical providers specialize in men's sexual health and understand that no two cases are alike, which means you'll get the right treatment for you based on sound medical evaluation and appropriate applications of medical therapies. Plus, we offer treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most men, you'll get your sex life back. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99. It includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Football season is just around the corner, and just like your favorite team, you've got to fuel up to perform. At Break Time, we've got your training camp essentials: ice-cold drinks, protein-packed snacks, and all your game day favorites. Whether you're hitting the field or cheering from the sidelines, teamwork starts with the right fuel.
Let's go! One team, one goal!
Swing by Break Time, your home team for snacks, drinks, and everything in between. Download our mobile app and find a location near you. We're proud to be Missouri made.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
The Colonel's cooked up a new $10 bucket of the day just for you. Monday, 24 nuggets for $10. Tuesday, 8-piece fried chicken for $10. Wednesday, 10 wings for $10. Thursday, 8 tenders for $10. Friday, 24 nuggets for... Ooh, you guessed it, didn't you? $10. The $10 bucket of the day deal. Every weekday. Only at KFC. It's finger licking good.
Prices and participation vary while supplies last. Not available on third-party ordering platforms. Tax extra.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
J. Rieger & Co. Oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City. J. Rieger & Co. Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Winner of Best Craft Bourbon at the 2025 Ascot Awards. At 90 proof, it's rich, well-balanced, and oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
All right, back here on Cody and Gold Live Up Insane Show. Hope you guys are having a good Thursday, day 8 of training camp. We had Nate Taylor join us after practice. You'll hear some of our conversation with him coming up in the 1 o'clock hour. We're minutes away from hearing from Peter Woods as well. He spoke to the media after practice. You guys can always interact on the Jay's Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965. And our training camp coverage is presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy it responsibly. Real quick, I was mentioning to you, Cody, during the break. So today, if anybody that listens that collects sports cards, it's a big release day. So there's a new product out called Topps Update, basically Topps Chrome Basketball Update. So
it's got all the rookie jerseys.
It's got all the debut patch jerseys. So anybody that was a rookie in the NBA, they all wear a patch that says debut on it. And then they cut those patches off or whatever, or the jersey, or take them off the jersey. They put them in trading cards, and it's become one of the more highly sought-after cards if you're a rookie and you pull a 101 of that. And, of course, the big one is Cooper Flagg because he's one of the bright young stars in the league, biggest star in the league, other than Wemby right now, I would say, for the most part. And so, anyway, his debut patch, Cody, it might go for $2 or $3 million. Anyway, today's the release date, and the boxes are very expensive, like $500 boxes, if not more. But the Dallas Mavericks just sent out a tweet and said, we're looking, basically our bounty, the Cooper Flagg rookie debut patch is officially out there. If you have it, we want it. And here's what they're offering. Now, remember, I told you this card might end up selling for over $2 million, so keep that in mind. But the Mavericks are offering, and I think this would be a terrible decision to take it, they're offering 2 season tickets.
Is what's happening here is like you'll get like a Dallas-based card shop, Drew, and they'll say, I'm offering a $1 million bounty. If somebody gives me the flag card, you're like, well, yeah. I mean, it's worth 2, so yeah, I'm sure you are.
So Cody and Gold is also Cody and Gold are also offering a $1.5 million bounty on the card.
Well, I make money off of it, like I don't know how I'll get the money, but I guess I'll figure it out, Like
how would you?
We're offering a $1,000 bounty on the Jack Caglione debut pet. What do you want? Like I can say whatever number, just as long as it's below the number it's worth.
Legitimately, how do you think if I told you we had a real bounty of $1 million for the Cooper Flagg debut patch, knowing that it's going to go for over $2 million, and someone truly in this hypothetical world said, "Okay, I'll take you up on it." How would we go about getting $1 million and within a week?
Go to John Sherman and be like, "Hey, man, you want 25%? We're turning a clean profit on this."
You're going to go to John Sherman.
I'm going to the richest person I know who can get a mill together.
We got to go to somebody else.
Can't be John?
No.
Sherman wouldn't float me? I'm offering a cool $250.
The owner of the Royals.
I'm giving him a $250,000.
There's other people that listen to this show that are very wealthy. There's like 3 people I can. I will not
I know
mention.
of a couple people that I won't mention their names at least. I'd probably go to first.
3 or 4 people I feel like
how much can you liquidate?
I could go to that would maybe be able to help out. Yeah.
Like, and some of it's just like, it's just funny that's the offer they make. But you're like, yeah.
If you're a big Mavs fan, though, then 32 years of season tickets and what?
But you got to be rich, because otherwise, who the hell's turning down $2 million?
But Drew, you could buy if you got $3 million, you could just
as many
buy
Mavericks
tickets.
you want.
You could just buy tickets.
Like, what do Mavericks season tickets cost?
Well, these are premium tickets. I'm sure over 32 years, it probably does equal, $500,000 or $800,000.
With my interest alone, I'll just
I agree.
get my season tickets.
Which is why you're not taking this deal.
All right, let me see here.
What's a Dallas Mavericks lower level season ticket go for? $5,000?
I'm trying to find it.
Like, I mean, it cannot be.
Okay, they have a map, but you can't click on it. Hang on.
Someone says you just go get a bank loan. What bank is loaning you $2 million? What? I mean, I don't know about you.
I don't have the collateral.
My income doesn't show that I should be able to get a $2 million loan.
Look, if I had the card in my possession, they might give it to me based on the collateral.
Maybe.
But if I don't own the card yet, I'm trying to purchase it. They're probably not.
Oh, they won't even give me the pricing on it. I have to call their office.
Call their office.
Yeah, it's premium seats. I don't think the bank's giving me a $2 million loan.
Platinum seats last year went for a $4,000. Okay. So $4,000 for a season ticket to the Mavericks. Maybe let's call it $5 just to round up. $5,000 for 32 years. $160.
Yeah.
It's $160,000. You're a little light, Dallas. I don't know how much value you're putting on. Even if they're $10,000 a piece, you're light.
I mean, at that rate, if they could spot me $500,000, then there needs to be some financial boost outside of all of what they're
giving. You can get a better deal than this, though, I guess is what we're saying. It sounds
simply just by selling.
You're saying you're better off. You'd be able to actually pay for everything that they're giving.
Correct.
And look, I saw Cooper Flagg when he was signing. He was really nervous. Cooper Flagg was super nervous to sign it. He pulled the pin back. He was like, "Oh God, I don't want to screw this signature up on this card." And so as he went to go sign it, someone's like, "Are you going to try to purchase?" It's like, maybe when I get that second contract, I don't have $2 million lying around. So you can't just ask Cooper Flagg to pay for it. Otherwise,
he can't even afford his own card. Yeah.
No, because when he gets his max deal or whatever, Drew, I'm sure he can, but he can't yet.
Right.
He can't afford it yet. But it is crazy. There have already been a couple of them pulled, the one-of-one debut patch cards, because everyone went out and bought the product. So we'll see. Insane market. Let's hear from Peter Woods, though. He has been a regular, huge name at training camp this year, no doubt about it. Let's hear what he had to say earlier today at the podium.
It was very relieving. I was very excited to be able to, get the pads on and actually play real football for the first time in almost a year. So it was fun.
What were the first lessons you've learned from this experience? Maybe positive or negative. Things like, oh wait, I need to work on this, or hey, wait, this is working pretty well.
I'm just always just kind of trying to find ways to get better, just being very critical of myself. So I'd say I learned a lot. How important the little details are, footwork, hand placement, just the little things in this league, can get you beat. It's not always about, raw strength, power, potential, and things of that nature. So, just really honing in on the little details is something that I think I've learned.
One-on-one drills, what have you learned about some of these interior linemen that you're going up against?
Everybody has their thing. Very, very talented players. I've been getting better each and every day, learning things about my teammates as well as them learning things about me, so that we can, go back and watch the tape together and figure out, okay, how'd you beat me here? How'd you beat me here? Just trying to figure out ways to get better from it all. That's the whole point of the drill. So.
Peter, we saw you off to the side with Chris a couple days ago. Just what do you value most about having that one-on-one time with him, maybe after practice?
I value it a lot. In my opinion, that's a future Hall of Famer that I have an opportunity to be able to get to learn from and play beside and play with. Every opportunity that we've been given to, have one-on-one time together, talk through things and, bounce knowledge off each other. He's been super willing and, almost even initiating for that to happen. So, I'm very appreciative of him and who he's been in this process for me, moving forward.
Kind of a follow-up to that. What about Creed and Trey? Do they pull you aside and, say, hey, you do this, it makes it harder for me? Are they giving you any pointers, or is there a little too much rivalry here offensively?
No. Probably every day, we talk in the locker room, just about, same thing I was just saying about the one-on-ones. How'd you beat me here? What did you see, was my footstep that I moved my post foot? Just football talk, stuff that, is important for a defensive lineman to know about an offensive lineman. So at the end of the day, we can all be successful. We all got the same common goal. So, Trey being the best version of himself is best for me, and likewise. Oh, yeah, I love Coach Cullen. He brings the energy each and every day. Some days, we in camp. Some days, some guys not going to have it. He got it every day. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm very appreciative of him and what he brings to the table, the knowledge and the wisdom that he brings. He knows a lot about this game, 30-plus years in. I'm very appreciative of Coach Cullen.
You've been bringing it every day to camp. Do you still feel like you have something to prove, given that you kind of slid maybe a little bit in the draft?
Yeah, every day. I wouldn't attribute it to the draft, but, that's just who I am, as a person. Just always kind of got a chip on my shoulder, always trying to, like I said, just be very critical of myself. Every day I come out here, and I'm never really satisfied with how my day ends, and that just helps me be better the next day.
Peter Spags' playbook has been known to be pretty tough. Where are you with picking up concepts and things like that?
Oh yeah, I think I'm good. I generally pick up stuff like that pretty easily, on the defense and stuff like that. So it hasn't really been a problem.
How much fun have you had putting on the pads the last 4 days?
I've had a lot of fun. I mean, that's what football is about. So, I'm in there and we hitting, and it just feels good. That's why I play the game, so I can be physical, be violent.
Let's go Pete, then Nick, and then Nate.
This is an off-the-field question. Our Mason mentioned that you're a very good singer.
Yeah.
Can you just tell us a little bit about how you developed that?
I don't really know if it was like a developmental thing. It's just something that I kind of grew up in. A lot of my family members are singers and kind of up and coming in the music industry. My brother and my sister and my dad kind of cultivated that in us, kind of growing up. And so it's just something that I've always had and been able to use.
You sang some in the car. Is that?
I don't know about saying too. You know what I'm saying? Like he probably caught me hitting a note or two, but you know what I'm saying? I don't think I sang to him, but he'll definitely like cut the radio down and be like, "Hold on, do that again." So it's good. It's fun and games.
Peter, since you've been able to have pads on for 3 days, has there kind of been like a favorite moment for you since you've been able to contact again?
Favorite moment? I'm not sure there's been a favorite moment. Just every day, just taking it day by day for real. For every moment that I get to hit somebody is a good moment. I'm a defensive lineman. I mean, I hit somebody every play, so I'd be pretty happy generally.
Okay, Matt, and then Nate. Go ahead.
There's a lot of talk about the fact that Clemson asked you to do a lot of things last year maybe you hadn't done before, and playing a little bit heavier weight. When you look at it now, I mean, how does where you feel now, maybe physically wise, weight wise, and what you're being asked to do, maybe compare more to 2 years ago at Clemson?
I think it's just kind of dependent on what Spags kind of sees for me, and how he wants me to fit into the defense. I think that I'm able to do everything that I could do 2 years ago. It's just about how much they want to put on my plate. Like I said, I think I do pretty well, with the install and stuff like that. But right now I'm just willing and ready to do whatever my coach. You want me to kick the ball? I'm ready. I probably won't make it, but I'll do it. So.
There's so many new experiences when you are an NFL rookie. One of those is the financial aspect. Have you thought about what you want to do with like your first paycheck, or have you done something already that you maybe envisioned when you wanted to become an NFL player?
No, I'm just kind of letting my money make money right now. I've had a pretty blessed college situation. A lot of guys coming in. It's kind of a different landscape. So it allows me to just kind of be disciplined in that area and just not really worry about it for real.
So that was Peter Woods. That last question, it's kind of interesting, and it's true. It's like in the past, you'd say, man, it's your first big paycheck as an NFL player, as a rookie. He basically was like, yeah, because at Clemson with NIL, I was already making some good money. I don't have to. I mean, that's essentially what he said.
They do a change.
That's essentially what he said. I mean, at Clemson, I don't know what his exact NIL dollar amount, but if you're a stud at a school like Clemson, you're bringing in some pretty good NIL money. So he was already making money. Wasn't he he was the Chiefs pick that he was at the dealership, right? He bought his mom a Maserati or something?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, maybe there was some NIL deal attached to that.
Maybe, but he was at the Maserati dealership for his draft night. He's like, oh, I've been making money. You're like, damn, he's right. But also, like, first-round draft pick money means they toss you a bonus of, 7 to 10 or whatever it is, $1 million. So you get some cash in hand pretty quick.
Yeah, I will Peter Wood's signing bonus was $9.5 million.
That's what you like to hear out of, I will say, out of defensive linemen. He's like, any day I get to hit somebody is a good day. Like, I'm a defensive lineman. I want to make contact. I don't like sitting out here and like having to do practice with no pads on. That's not fun for anybody who plays on the defensive line. It's like, you know what? Fair enough. Woods, we got a pretty fair point, I think, on that end. Like that part of it at least makes some sense. But he has been so far. Him and Cyrus Allen have been the stories on offense and defensive camp, and I mean that of all offensive players and all defensive players. Funny enough,
not just
not just rookies. They've just been the stories of camp on both sides of the ball, regardless of where they play. Now, some guys aren't a story of camp because, Taekwon, we know he's got a couple deep.
Yeah, Mahomes obviously is the story. That's an ongoing story, just about and he looks great. But I totally agree with you in terms of potential playmakers moving forward. There's no question. Peter Woods is a player everybody's excited about. I know Spags earlier tried to temper the expectation a little bit by saying, he's got a long ways to go. He's got to get his feet right. When he does that, he's a pretty good football player. But we got 5 weeks till the start of the season. Wait till if Peter Woods next Saturday against the Rams, Cody, causes some problems. then the hype will only continue forever.
Then the hype train will get completely out of control, and we'll be having a very different conversation. We can talk Noah Cameron coming up here in just a minute, but first let's get to the random question of the day.
Random question.
For you, Gold. For you, Drew. Text line 913-586-7965. Of course, you can always interact with the show on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. We live stream the show over there. Even on the days we're up at camp, although we'll be back in studio tomorrow. They'll have camp tomorrow, but Alex and I will be back in studio for a day and then back up at camp next Monday. So you can interact with us over there on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. So we'll get you caught up over there as well. The question I have today is actually sports related. I had a different one planned, but when somebody says something like this, I got to ask because I'm asking specifically. This question's almost just for Drew and general college sports fans. Because we've gotten into the arguments on the show before, like, hey, that's college sports, you know? Eli Drinkwitz's got to try to say corny dad jokes to KU, otherwise he's not doing it. You might know that Purdue, one of their rivals, is Indiana. They have a new athletic director. His name is Tommy McClelland. Never heard of the guy until today, because in his introductory press conference, so the question is going to be whether or not this was wise to say, was, quote, "We are here to win championships. If you don't want to win championships, then go to Indiana." Now, for those of you who might be living under a rock, this year's college football national championship champion is Gold. Indiana.
It'll be the Hoosiers.
Is one of the single biggest surprise national champions maybe of all time when you consider where their program was 2 years ago versus winning it now. Drew, I ask you, and I'll ask Gold too, do you think it was wise for Tommy McClelland to have said this? Is it okay in the spirit of we're rivals?
No, you need to be honest.
He's just flat out wrong.
It was fun. It would have been fun 2 years ago. It would have been perfect 2 years ago. Absolutely. But now you just the Indiana's been the butt of the joke in football for forever.
Long time.
Forever.
The way we make fun of Rutgers on this show.
Forever. And now you can't do it anymore. So, yeah, I think even though you're rivals, I mean, there's something to – I mean, we're here to win championships, and we're here to beat Indy. I don't know anything else other than what he said, because now the joke is totally flipped on him for sounding very foolish, like he lived under a rock all the last year.
I mean, if you're trying to make the basket – like if you're the head basketball coach, maybe you can fire one off, right?
Yeah, does the AD not know that football exists? That's part of his – oversight too.
That's like the biggest one.
After he said it, the awkward silence too. So here's the audio of him actually saying it. There's just no laugh because everybody knows how ridiculous it is.
To win championships. If you don't want to win championships, go to Indiana.
Just
somebody
quiet,
chuckled in the background. I sounded like
one just awkward
chuckle.
Yeah, the one guy.
Their
who
last
also
national
lived under a
championship
rock.
was in
Yes.
cheerleading in 2018. They won a women's golf national championship in 2010, a women's basketball championship in 1999.
Let me phrase how bad this
men's
is
golf
for
in
Purdue
1961 and men's basketball last in 1932.
Yeah.
You don't go to Purdue to win championships for starters.
They do not.
Second, you can't dunk on the team that just won it.
They do not have a modern era NCAA championship in basketball, and so.
No, 1932 was their last one.
Yeah, and which doesn't tend to like Wisconsin has one. It doesn't really count. Like they count it, but it doesn't count. It's like one of the co-ones or anything like that because there weren't enough teams.
They went
to really
17-1.
Yeah, exactly.
And in those days, the Associated Press didn't rank teams. And the first NCAA sanctioned postseason tournament wasn't held until 1939.
So for you to say,
so a panel of experts, the Helms Trophy, that's what they call it. They got a Helms Trophy.
For Indiana football to win a title before Purdue basketball won a legitimate championship and a legitimate title is just insane. But yeah, you can't go, Cody. As much as college football is weird, college sports are weird, and all this other stuff.
That one's unacceptable, right?
You can make fun and mock them, but you're just wrong. Like if you're just wrong, because if you do want to win a championship, then you would have gone to Indiana and not Purdue.
Yeah, it truly just doesn't make any sense. Like it is
pretty embarrassing.
It's not even like just some dumb trying to poke fun at the rival joke. Like it's just not even. It's just flat out not true, and we all just saw what happened 5 months ago or whatever.
I gotta say, I think they hired the wrong guy, and they should probably fire this guy.
Do you also know?
He's an idiot. He sat at his desk last night and wrote up this. He spent 2 weeks writing this speech, and this dumbass came up with that. I'd be genuinely concerned. I just hired an idiot. How stupid of a person did I give the job to?
Also, if Kurt Cignetti didn't have any more meaning to be fired up to play against Purdue, I mean, these comments. I mean, Indiana might try to win. I mean, they won last year 66-0. I wonder if it'll be worse.
Yeah, I mean, it's embarrassing. It is
At least
seriously embarrassing.
At least it wasn't any local because they would get buried. Even more so than Tommy McClelland.
It is. I understand that talking trash on your rival is a part of the job of a coach or an AD. Right? If you're at Missouri, you make fun of Kansas. If you're at Kansas, you make fun of Missouri. The states, the food, the culture, whatever. Sometimes I think you're just bad at delivering the joke because you're not funny. And then that's when I make fun of you, when you're just like an unfunny person. But this, I mean, Drew, think about it. He got this job weeks ago. He sat there.
Yeah, wrote the
pinned
speech.
to
It is
paper,
embarrassing. Yes.
pinned to paper and said, knowing that Purdue never wins any championships of any kind, and said, you don't go to Indiana to win championships right after they won the biggest championship, college football. At Indiana, like legitimately, Indiana.
It's been one of the
best
bigger
Cinderella stories in sports history.
It's been one of the great stories in sports in a very, very long time. And so, how did he not realize?
Dude, if I'm Signetti, I'm gonna dunk all reverse. I might treat them like peasants. Like
They were
I can't
already
even
going
waste my
to.
time talking about Purdue.
They were already going to destroy Purdue this year anyway. So.
It definitely is a bad time to try to give you bulletin board material, you know?
Man.
Like, do you not know what you're doing?
If we have George Karlaftis on the show at all during camp, we have to ask about his alma mater and his comments.
Even in basketball, for some extent, like Purdue isn't one. Purdue is the big guy, but Indiana would not say, like, the next Indiana head coach is not going to say, "We're here to win championships. If you want to win, go. If you want to win one, come here." And not Purdue, but there'd be more validation in saying that because Purdue hasn't won one in over 100 years, or almost 100 years.
It's one of the most.
They'd be more
embarrassing things at a
validated.
press conference. It's worth them being like Adam Gase and just seem like you're high as a kite. You
You're
can't just
saying
say
you'd rather
an
look
absurd.
that way.
Yeah,
It's
I'd rather just be
wandering
like,
out the
maybe just had
eyes.
a little fun. Got had a little fun powder or something before, and things got weird. But he's probably still okay. Maybe he's got I would if I were like a donor who like helped pay. I'd be like, what the hell are we doing with this guy? This is the guy.
Yeah, Purdue was one of the one seeds that got knocked out by a 16. You shouldn't be saying any of these jokes. The joke's been on Purdue more recently in basketball and in football.
They've had some chances in Purdue
Yeah,
basketball.
Matt Painter's had number
They've
one
had a couple of
seeds,
runs.
number one overall seeds. Obviously, had Zach Edey a couple years ago. They've had some great
They've
teams,
been close.
but not enough to get over the hump there. So that is the random question of the day. Whew. Yikes.
Yeah, I had a different one planned, but I needed us to at least address that comment. Because that's just all time. And it's going to get played whenever because all ADs eventually get fired or whatever. And so, like, it's like a 50% success rate, right? Like, if I say that guy's going to get fired, yeah, I'm right probably 50, 60% of the time.
He recently was the Rice athletic director as well. He came over from Rice.
Were they any good?
I mean, no.
That's a tough place to win
Yeah,
with the academics down in Houston with Rice. That's like a tough place to
It's
win.
a lot like Vanderbilt in a way.
Purdue's
but
a tough place to. They've got high academics.
Oh, it's a very good school, but it's not the same
No,
level.
it's not Rice. I'm
It's
just
not
saying, like,
Rice or Vandy.
Rice is almost Ivy League level, I think.
Rice is.
academically.
Yeah, I know.
What do they call it? The Harvard of the South or something? I don't remember.
I
What
think
it is
so,
or something
yeah.
I'm sure
like
they
that,
call it
yeah.
that, yeah.
The
Well, I'm
Rice
just saying.
Yeah, no,
I lived down there. I think that's
know.
what they called it. Yeah, it was a thing. I went to one Rice football game when I was down there.
Hey,
One Rice football game. They lost.
What's Rice's acceptance rate?
Oh man, that's
8%.
Yeah, it's
Is it that low?
Rice is a very good school.
Admitted students typically score between 1510 and 1570 on their SAT, 34 to 35 on their ACT. So
Yeah, it's only 97,000
Wow.
a year too, Cody. It says. Yeah, no big deal. Yeah, tuition 71,000.
Holy smokes!
20,000 for on-campus housing and food. No big deal.
That's
it's a very good school.
insane.
$97,000 a year. All right, up next, let's talk a little Royals baseball briefly. Noah Cameron continues to pitch well. What has changed? What it means for the 2027 rotation? We'll lead to that next.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Tune in to hear Royals insider Josh Vernier every Wednesday at 12:30. Cody and Gold is brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
FanDuel's giving new customers up to $1,000 in bet resets. Bet $5 daily, and then you can unlock $200 in bet resets every single day. That's right. New customers can place a $5 bet each day and receive up to $200 in bet resets up to $1,000 total. So whether you're betting those money lines, maybe the player props or same-game parlays, FanDuel has you covered. You place your daily $5 bet and unlock up to $1,000 in bet resets. Head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. FanDuel, your home for home runs. FanDuel is an official partner of the MLB and 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Minimum $5 wager required for 5 consecutive days. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bet reset tokens. Refund from token issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $200 per day. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Maybe those storms hit you hard last night. I told you I had a branch fall in my yard just the other day. If you are worried about it, if you were concerned about it, if you know that you might have some roofing needs, Century Roofing is the company you want to trust. They've been voted best roofing company in Kansas City 2 years in a row. Best roofing company in Johnson County 4 years in a row. They also have done over 36,000 roofs. They've been in business for over 31 years. They're locally owned and operated. When you deal with companies like this is what you want to deal with. Companies that know how to work with the insurance companies. They're just telling you, Kling was telling me they just redid his roof because they had the experience to work with the insurance company to make sure that everybody is taken care of. And that's what's most important, is that you have the experience required to make sure that you know what is asked of you. And so when you're working with Century Roofing, that's what you get. The expertise, the honesty, and everything else in between. As someone who's worked on my roof a couple of times, I trust Century Roofing, and so should you. If you have those needs, go to CenturyRoofingKC.com. That's CenturyRoofingKC.com.
Now at Lowe's, faster quotes start at the Lowe's Pro Desk. Got a material list handwritten on a sticky note or saved as a photo? Perfect. Bring it to us and get a quote in minutes. And if you don't see what you need on the shelf, we'll help you get it. You can access thousands of products beyond what's available in-store or on Lowe's.com, right from the Lowe's Pro Desk. Build quotes faster and source the materials you need to keep your jobs moving. Just like that, at Lowe's.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
I love a girls' weekend, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin, thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
You can usually find me in the kitchen, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm still in the mix with Skyrizi to treat my joint symptoms.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe at 4 months.
Or if you're an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And right now, save $500 on Tempur-Breeze mattresses, plus get a $300 instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Sun's out, so dads are too. This Father's Day at Lowe's, shop the gear that'll make his summer. Get 2 free Select DeWalt power tools when you buy a Select 5 amp-hour battery kit for weekends in the garage. Plus, get a free Blackstone 6-piece stainless steel griddle kit when you buy a Select Blackstone griddle. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 6/24. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Go to 965thefan.com for your chance to win Kansas City Chiefs scratch tickets, plus a chance for the grand prize Chiefs bundle, which includes a framed jersey and a signed photo. All thanks to our friends at the Kansas Lottery.
This is Michael Waka from the Kansas City Royals, and you're listening to 96.5 The Fan.
KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
1 o'clock hour here on Cody and Gold live up in St. Joe. Day number 8 of Chiefs practice. No pads today. It was a lighter practice. That's why anybody that was hurt yesterday in the practice report did not practice today. So it's a long, long list. Cyrus Allen, Worthy, Tranquil, Bassa, Fulton, Snead, Gelati all did not practice today. They're back in pads tomorrow. We'll see what that means. Also, yes, Mansour Delane still in the yellow non-contact jersey. That's probably going to continue for quite some time moving forward. Don't forget, training camp coverage presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. We will get back into the Chiefs, including some interesting trends over the last, 25 years of the NFL with offenses and how successful they've been on drives and what the correlation is to record. We'll get to that in a minute, but we want to talk about Noah Cameron for a little while here as the Royals continue their series against the Twins. And last night, Noah Cameron continued to do something that hasn't happened since 2019. That's only happened 5 times since 1901. They were discussing it on the broadcast last night. That's the fact that Noah Cameron has pitched 7 or more innings, given up 2 hits or fewer in 3 consecutive games. Last night, it was 8 innings, Cody, 2 hits allowed. Back on the 30th of July against the Twins, it was 8 hits, 1 hit allowed. So 2 of them were the same team. And then July 24th against Detroit on the road, 7 innings, 2 hits allowed. Suddenly Noah Cameron's looking more like what we saw at times last year when he had that great season, when he was looking like he was a guy that you could count on to be a top end of the rotation guy. This year's been a bit more of a struggle, to say the least.
But more up and down.
He's now found a groove again, and the biggest change that anybody can notice right away, it's pretty obvious, is he's calling his own pitches. He's calling his own game, not Carter Jensen. He's decided to take it in his own hands, and he's confident with it. He's working quicker, too.
In the last 2 months, so since the beginning of June, so all of June, all of July, and then obviously this first start here in August, he's got a 4.18 ERA, 71 innings pitched. So that includes some bad ones, right? That includes some starts. And I think I could have gone further back and lowered the ERA because he had 2 starts of 5 innings and 6 innings. They would get him all the way to 3.84. So if I go all the way back to May. May 22nd, he's got a 3.84 ERA. He's pitched well. The last 3 starts have been dominant. What stands out to me is, at least I know, for 100%, no questions asked, this is a major league starter. Like, last year, even as good as he was, that was never like a for sure thing, Gold. People were grass. We didn't know. They were talking bullpen starter. We know he's a starter. We know he's at least a 4, I think. 4 or 5. Like he belongs in a rotation. He belongs in a rotation, in my opinion, somewhere that isn't the bottom list. Maybe 4. At least I feel like I know that for sure. What this recent stretch has me wondering, and we can ask Jake Eisenberg tomorrow, is how am I supposed to view his ceiling? If I factor in last year's rookie season, in which he posted a 2.99 ERA and was doing things for the first time since Fernando Mania, and then I couple it with he's now doing things that only a handful of pitchers done since 1901, the upper end stuff on Noah Cameron is undeniable. Man dominates, especially from the left side. He causes problems, Gold, right? So am I to assume that there's still a possibility he can be a 2, an upper end 3? And at this point, I'm not ruling it out. Maybe I wouldn't predict it. Maybe I wouldn't just pencil it in. But this is really important news for next year's Royals team. Because for all of the Tommy Johns they have, Noah Cameron getting on a heater, calling his own pitches, that's great news for the 2027 Royals.
Yeah, it is. It is great news. I still think I believe he's more of a 4 and 5. I understand, yes, he is pitching better than that currently, but consistency, how you're a number 1, number 2 first staff is you are consistent. So that's not me being a hater at all. I think it's just reality of where he's at. The fact that he's pitched as well as he has since May and then now is on this current stretch means that you can once again be confident about him being in your rotation next year. There was a point in time where you were wondering, is that realistic or not? But he's been able to make adjustments. If he can stay healthy as well on top of it, then he's probably your number 4 starter, number 5. Because here's the thing, if you're telling me you think he should be a 2 or a 3, with all due respect to him, well, then you're also agreeing that they're not a contender next year. Because I'm sorry, as great as he's pitching, still Noah Cameron being a number 1 or number 2, even number 3, I would argue, is not a championship division contending team. So if you already look at Walker and Lugo, we talked to Vern about this yesterday, I don't even think, unless you guarantee Walker's pitching like this again next year, I don't think Walker being your ace is good for a team that's competing for a division title. I don't think that's realistic. So that's also why I don't believe in 2027 that they are in position to actually be a division champion type of team, competing type of team. They got too many other issues.
Yeah, and look, the Royals, obviously they're going to compete. That's why they held on to those guys. Do you think he's jumped Lugo in the rotation for you?
No.
Because I think it's close. I think that is barreling towards it.
And Lugo, it's not as if he's been great. But, by the way, that's the other problem, though. If you're saying that he's leapfrogged Lugo, that's my point. That means he's the number 2 of the staff next year, with all due respect
I know that's a problem.
to Noah Cameron. That's a major issue of Noah Cameron's my number 2 starter in 2027.
I mean, unless Noah Cameron's this Noah. Not this Noah Cameron. You know what I mean. Closer, what's weird is, and this is what I would point out about Noah Cameron, you mentioned the consistency.
Yeah.
He has more times in his career been a dominant starting pitcher than a bad one. If you average out all of his starts as a major league starter over the course of his career, he has more commonly been a number 2 starter than he has a number 5. Now, it is very limited sample size, so I don't want to make it seem like that's not important to mention, because clearly it is. He's only made, he's pitched in 46 games in his entire career, and he is certainly better against left-handed batters than he is against righties, which is not uncommon, and some of the other stats to go in there. He's also got off to a pretty bad start this season, so he wasn't consistent at least during that stretch. But he's got a 4.01 ERA since the beginning of after April. So, once May 1st hit, he's got a 4.01. He has more consistently been closer to a top-end starter than a bottom-end starter. I just don't know. I can't figure him because he shows signs where he just gets beat around. And, so he'll go through that stretch of, a month where I'm like, he'll just, give up 7 randomly. And you're like, I don't feel like I see that out of 2 starters very often. So because if he got rid of those starts in which he just gave up, 5 runs or 7 runs, boy, he'd be looking like one of the best starters in the league.
Well, right.
ERA-wise.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out where those starts come from for him.
Yeah, no, sure.
But
that I would just say, that's just
the
difference. That's just the difference between the top-end pitchers in baseball and the starters that are middle of the rotation, back to the rotation guys.
He's been awesome. I think he's a mid-starter. I think when this all shakes out, what he's going to settle into comfortably is a 3. I think he's just going to be a nice number 3 starter, which is a hell of a find for the Royals, and I'm not complaining about that at all. I just think that's what he's going to settle into. But again,
a number 3 for the Royals, or a guy that would be a number 3 for a playoff team? You know what I mean? There's a difference, right? Is the rotation so bad that he is a 3, or is he a 3? He'd be a 3 on 90% of teams in baseball. There's a difference, is all I'm saying.
I think Vern's suggestion for that is really what you would. That's really the way I would value it. The way he says it, which is, would you want that guy starting Game 3 of the World Series, right? Would you want some versions of Noah Cameron? Yes. Some versions of Noah Cameron.
But then wouldn't the answer be no? Because you have to be consistent.
It's so hard because so many guys don't qualify for. So many guys don't qualify for the ERA thing. So, me just telling you where ERA ranks in the regular season, depending on teams, it's probably not going to give you the full story because he's going to, he's going to rank higher on the ERA list in Major League Baseball probably than maybe you realize. So I'd have to look it up. But you're right. I mean, it's just so hard because this version of Noah Cameron, hell yeah, man, I'd want him. Sure, sign me up. He can start Game 3. The last 3 starts, but then also, what is it in any ever given one? in that part of it. I guess I look at this maybe pitcher WAR is a good way to look at it, and Noah Cameron's nowhere near that list, but he would have been last year, so I don't know. It's very difficult, Gold. The answer is maybe. Like, you're asking me today, I'd be a little bit worried if you start a playoff game, or if he'd be the number 3 starter for a playoff team. Let's who's a mid-level playoff team this year? Fire me off not the best team in the league. I don't want the Dodgers number 3. Fire me up who's the 4 seed or 5 seed in the American League right now, you know?
All right, so let's go. Let's just go with what about the second wild card in the American League right now?
Which is who?
Boston.
Okay, so the Red Sox.
They're the second wild card team right now.
Okay, so
and the second wild card team in the NL would be the Diamondbacks.
All right.
So those would be the 2 teams.
Red Sox is fine.
Diamondbacks and Red Sox.
Red Sox we can pull up. That's a number that we can hit. Right now, their number 1 starter is Sonny Gray, who is scheduled to be a free agent, by the way, this upcoming season. Their number 3 starter is Ranger Suarez. He has started 100 innings, or he's pitched 100 innings for him this year. He has a 3.15 ERA. He's actually lower than their number 2, which is Peyton Toll, and has a 3.15. Like I said, he's 4-3 win-loss. He's a 1.8 win WAR player. Now, I will say their 2 through 4 are very close. Jake Bennett, Connor Lee Early, Ranger Suarez, and Peyton Toll are all between 1.5 and 1.9 WAR players. What's Noah Cameron this year in the WAR department? He was better than that last year. He was better than a 1.8 win WAR player last season. He was a 3.8 WAR player. He's a 0.6 this year. So he's off of it a little bit, but not as far off as you think, probably. I'd have to look at the Diamondbacks. Do you want me to look them up just for the sake of the argument?
Just to keep it level on both sides. So
that's fair.
The second wild card we on the NL side would be actually we don't need to go. The Diamondbacks and Phillies are tied, whatever, for the second wild card spot.
It can just be the Diamondbacks. Yeah. The Diamondbacks' 3rd starter right now would be they are hurt. Let's just give them Michael Soraka. He's really probably there too, but he's on the 15-day injured list. He's a 1.9 WAR player. They also have a negative 1.5 and a 0.1 WAR player as their 3. They have a 37-year-old starter, Merrill Kelly, who's really their 3 at the moment because of injuries. He's got a 5.04 ERA. So, it's not as crazy as you think, just as long as the rest of the roster is put together. But I'm not saying I wouldn't sweat it if you start in Game 3 of the World Series or the Divisional Round Series. Good problem to have, probably.
Yeah, and again, those are wild card teams, right? So we're just looking at a strict playoff team, not even getting into divisional winners and what it looks like to win a division kind of rotation.
Yeah, yeah. It's not as far off as I think, but but I will say their 1's way far off and their 2's way far off. So the 3 is actually not their problem. Noah Cameron might not be their issue if he's a number 3 starter for a playoff team. 1 and 2 might be. 4 and 5 definitely are right now, based on where they are injury-wise and how many guys are coming off of Tommy John surgery. You had mentioned to start the show, we gave out a couple of stats from Jesse Newell and a few others, where it depends on if your glass half full, but there are some stats that support the fact that the Chiefs' offense is not as far off as we want to think, I guess, is what I would say.
Yeah, True Media Sports put this out as well. So there were 8 NFL teams that have averaged 39 yards per drive since 2000. 8 of them, and the record to coincide with it. So the Chiefs, by the way, are 5 of the 8 since 2000. And the 2011 Saints were 13-3. The 2020 Chiefs were 14-2. The 2021 Chiefs were 12-5 when they did this. The 2018 Chiefs were 12-4 when they did this. The 2019 Ravens were 14-2. Then last year's the outlier. The Chiefs fit that same criteria, and they had 6 wins.
Through 11 games. This was done through 11 games.
Through 11 games. And then the Patriots were 16-0 in 07 when they did it, and the Chiefs were 14-3 in 2022 when they did that. But 8 NFL teams that averaged 39 yards per drive. And look, we got into a disagreement, I think, with someone on the text line in the 10 o'clock hour today about this. Nobody's saying that you don't, in the right time, want the 10, 12 play, 85-yard drive, eats up
Those
7
nice.
minutes of clock.
Sometimes.
End of the game, ice the game away, open the game up. But if you are relying consistently on the 10-play, 80-yard drives, the chance of you completing that is still slim. You're going to have a holding call. You're going to have a false start. You might have a turnover. It's very difficult. It's kind of like why defenses, some of them play the bend but don't break. They're hoping, fine, you might move the ball on us, but we're going to hunker down in the red zone, or we're going to bank that you're going to make a mistake.
I'll point it out, and the Chiefs said before Patrick Mahomes' injury, I mentioned it yesterday, they were the fourth best EPA per play team in the league. And someone's going to be like, well, that's because of Detroit or what they did against the Raiders. Yeah, they massacred the Raiders. They beat them 31-0. They also dropped 28 on a good Jags team. So I don't want to just completely ignore that they were capable of doing that, or 30 on Detroit. They had some games earlier in the season. They moved the ball more than you think. And last year's wide receiver unit was what? I mean, genuinely, what? For the first 10 weeks, let's say before Patrick Mahomes got hurt, before Thanksgiving and the Dallas Cowboys, it was Xavier Worthy running 5 routes, no Rashee Rice for half the season, and it was a unit that at the end, Isaiah Pacheco, a non-running back. If they were even semi-competent last year on offense, which they clearly were based on the numbers I just gave you, at 39 yards per drive, if they were even semi-competent, you should expect them to be near that expectation level this year, but with more points on the board. That's how I view it. I think the Chiefs' offense is going to be good. I'll be honest, I think it's weird that I'm in the minority there. Not with you. I just meant in general.
Yeah.
How am I in the minority to think that a Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid-led offense that was capable, based on some advanced analytics last year, capable, in a year in which it should have been very hard to be capable, that I think that they should be better this year? They'll have, by the way, borderline a lock, that they'll have more healthy games out of Rice and Worthy this year. Just a lock. Significantly better at running back. Should be better on the offensive line, or at least have less injuries. Okay. I mean, I don't really see how – tell me how they're getting worse on offense. And those numbers support that they should have been – this is why last year's so weird. I don't think they're nearly as bad. They were not a 6-win team last year in my head. They were like a 9-win team, 8-win team. That's genuinely what I think they would have landed at had Mahomes been healthy all year. Or maybe if they had just dropped one less weirdo game in the one-score department. Because they were 1-9, too. Isn't that the other one?
Yeah, they couldn't make the key play down the stretch. They made way too many mistakes.
Mistakes of defense late.
We all know the Jags game was kind of the one where it was the major wake-up call for, not for the team, clearly, but for fans to be like, oh, this might just not be the type of year.
And they scored 28 in that game. They moved the ball.
The offense was.
They just didn't stop Trevor
Defensively,
Lawrence.
they couldn't stop, and that was the whole Chris Jones was worn out late in the game, standing around. That was the bad optics of that entire thing, and it led us, I think, to believe more and more about that defensive line, how bad it was overall. And that's why it's why multiple pieces from the defensive line are gone. It's why they invested money in Tonga, drafted a guy in the first round on the defensive line, drafted a guy in the second round on the defensive line. They clearly thought that was their biggest issue, along with going and getting a running back.
I mean, they improved offensively. And, look, that's before we even mention if, guys like Cyrus Allen will step forward or other guys in the offense who could make them better as well. Because last year, I've already pointed this out, last year's leading wide receiver was wide receiver, not Travis Kelce. Who was their leading wide receiver last year? Was it 700 yards? It couldn't have been that much. I pointed out their leading rushers over the last 8 years. It's embarrassing. And now they have Ken Walker, a former second-round pick, who was a Super Bowl MVP and was one of the more successful running backs in the NFL last year.
Their leading receiver. You want to take a guess at who it was?
Hollywood Brown would be my guess. He played most of the season.
It was Hollywood Brown. He had 587 yards. Rashee Rice had 571 in 8 less games. Rashee Rice almost got there.
That's an offense that was one of the best EPA offenses in the league until Mahomes got hurt. Isn't that insane, Drew? That should say something about, and Tom Brady put up some years like that. I'm not trying to say he's alone in the history of the NFL. I've seen some other quarterbacks put up good numbers with mediocre wide receivers. But, they talk about Josh Allen like the man's got no help. He had one of the 3 best running backs in football last year. And a decent qualified number 1 wide receiver, or at least a fringe number 1 wide receiver. Their leading wide receiver last year was Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown. Come on. It's they're going to be better on offense. They're going to be good on offense. They somehow managed to be, not an embarrassment on offense last year, which is pretty damn impressive considering where they were. It's just funny to me. I think nationally just everybody's way down on them. Not even, I don't mean, because you're just they're a French playoff team. That's fine. They still got roster problems. I just mean I still think they'll be able to score a lot better than they were last year. They move the ball way better than you think, every year. I am tired, though, of 12-play, 97-yard drives. I'm tired of it. Can't score that way most of the time. Score that way every once in a while.
Yeah, you need
maybe score on
you
3
need-
plays and 70
You need
yards
that. I mean,
sometimes.
you need the long sustained drives in the right moment of the game.
Yeah.
You know, for clock purposes. But yes, the 5 plays we hit on a 45-yard touchdown pass, or we had a 25-yard touchdown run from Kenneth Walker, or he had a long run for 25 yards that got us to a 1st and goal after 3 plays or 4 plays. Like, that's the kind of stuff. The explosiveness. It's pretty obvious. We haven't seen it really in 3 years.
All right, I'm going to give you the teams right now, and then we can move on from this. I'm going to give you the teams right now who led in plays per drive. Total number of plays run last year. You would think, based on what the text line said earlier, these are the best offenses in football. You ready? Bears, number 1. Okay, great. That was a pretty good offense last year.
It
Pretty
was.
good.
It was very
Wasn't a great offense, but it was a good offense. Cardinals, Giants, Lions, who did score. Commanders were 6th. Steelers, 8th. Eagles, 7th. This look like the world beaters to you? The best offenses are in the middle. They're not the lowest. They're not the bad teams. They're in the middle, as in they can have a long drive, but guess what else they can do? Score in short bursts. The Bills were 13th, if you're curious. The Rams were 9th. You want to be in the middle. You don't want to lead the league in plays. You don't want to be bottom of the league in plays. You want to be in the middle. That's how you get the job done. It's like when you look at just the total plays run. Cowboys were up near the top of the list too, but still.
We had Nate on earlier, and you're going to hear our conversation with Nate Taylor coming up in about 10 minutes or so. And we were discussing Stephon Diggs, who signed with the Commanders, and Nate basically acknowledged they didn't have the money to go that route. Said they really maybe didn't have a ton of interest. Although I will say Schefter just sent out a tweet and said that at least reaching out-wise, he said the Chiefs, Dolphins, and Raiders did reach out to Stephon Diggs' representation. Now, you can reach out and call and then find out. Okay.
What's the number?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
So how serious? But if you're wondering, in addition to the Commanders signing him, who else at least called his agent? Shefty says Chiefs, Dolphins, and Raiders.
Nate also talks to Adam Schefter,
Exactly.
and if they're in regular communication, and if they're saying they called but they weren't interested, well, they might have said, well, we want $10 million. Like, oh, okay, thanks. That might have been the end of the phone call. I guess I'm not going to overly worry about it.
Yeah.
Plus, he signed somewhere else, so we don't have to
Yeah.
daydream about whatever player might have been here hypothetically if he's with another team now, right? Doesn't that feel like the list? You had pointed out to me, by the way, before the show, and I know then we're going to get to Nate Taylor. There's a streak going on in baseball, and I love baseball. I did not know about, and maybe had been ignoring.
Yeah, I did. Only Kendall Baker from Yahoo Sports put this out earlier today that Matt Olson, first baseman for the Atlanta Braves, is continuing to climb up the all-time consecutive game streak. We all know, right? Cal Ripken Jr. 2006-32, right? Nobody's catching that.
No.
But Matt Olson now has played in 896 consecutive games, which is the
5
eighth
straight seasons or something?
the 8th longest streak. He just passed Stan Musial. Now he's got a big gap to get to 7. He needs to get to 1,100.
That's okay.
He needs to get well into next season.
Sure.
For that, and a season that maybe
And a season and a half away.
Yeah.
Maybe not as far away as you think, but yeah, okay.
But think about it. He's at 800. He's 4 starts away from getting to 900 consecutive games. It goes back to 2021. Cody actually is when it started. 2021 is when the streak started.
So 5 years. 5.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy to me that I didn't even realize Matt Olson had played. Maybe because he's not a Royal.
Sure.
Maybe that's some part of it, but you got to give someone credit playing that many games, especially in modern baseball.
The only more recent, he's the most recent since Miguel Tejada, who played in 1,152 in a row. And that was from 2000 to 2007.
He would only have to do this for another season and a half to pass Tejada for the fifth
That'd
most
give
of
it
all
top
time.
5.
Of all time, and he's done it for 5.5 seasons
how old's
already.
Matt Olson?
I'd have to look it up.
Clearly has been able to stay healthy, but how old? He's 32. He'll be 33 to start next season.
What's the record in the NFL?
This year, he's having a great year, by the way. 200. He's batting 266 with 31 home runs.
What do you think the record is in the NFL?
For consecutive games? Mm-hmm. There was a while where Brian Waters...
It's probably a kicker or something.
Brian Waters of the Chiefs had a record going for a while way back in the day, if I'm not mistaken.
It's probably a kicker.
I think Brian Waters or Will Shields, but one of them had a streak, like a very long streak.
I just looked it up. It was a punter. Jeff Fiegels, 300 something consecutive games.
Brian Waters had 79 straight for the Chiefs from 2001 to 2006.
Most consecutive starts by a quarterback is held by Brett Favre, 297. He played 321 consecutive games at Brett Favre. Philip Rivers second on the list, 255. By the way.
Will Shields, that's who I was thinking of. Will Shields, 224 consecutive games. 231, including the playoffs during his 14-year career.
Josh Allen currently has the 8th longest streak of all time. One more start, and he will pass Joe Flacco.
There you go.
On the list for most consecutive starts without missing one. He's 2 behind Matthew Stafford, whose streak was from 2011 to 2019. So he makes even a handful of starts this year. He's going to pass he'll pass Stafford and Joe Flacco. He'll be a little behind Russell Wilson for most consecutive starts. Unfortunately for Patrick Mahomes, he probably won't have a streak like that now at this point because of the age in which he got hurt. Plus, he missed a couple of games here and there, we know, for like ankle or knee or whatever stuff that came up. But interesting, though. Really interesting for Matt Olson. Just something I didn't even realize was happening in baseball at all. That's all. So we'll get to it, at least on that end.
All right, coming up next, guys, we'll get to what's trending and then our conversation with Nate Taylor from ESPN. He gave us another comp for Cyrus Allen. We also talked to him about the special teams unit and looking ahead a little bit more down the road to next week and what we can expect at practice.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
The best football contests are back out in Las Vegas with Circa Sports. $30 million in guaranteed prizes, no rake in any of the 3 contests. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Or Circa Survivor, you pick one winner each week, the last one standing wins. And Circa Grandissimo with $100,000 entry. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $30 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Participation may vary.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi, I'm Michaela, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. You found your dream engagement ring. As a jewelry consultant, I recommend to start shopping for your wedding band 6 months before your big day. Don't worry. At Shane Company, we're here to help you find the perfect bands. Our men's and women's bands are crafted to high-quality standards, and it shows in every detail, with a stylish design and comfortable fit. At Shane Company, we'll take care of your engagement ring and wedding bands for life, because a friend wants you to say, I do, to your rings again and again. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, leading to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment, and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and we specialize in treating men's sexual health issues to help men find solutions that fit their individual needs. ED is a frustrating condition, and many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But the good news is that if you're like most men, we have the answer. Our licensed medical providers will evaluate your specific medical situation and recommend a plan designed for you. And these advanced medical therapies work, with treatments having success rates of well over 90%, which means you and the one you love can have great sex again without the fear and worry of ED. You can even last up to an hour or more, and you may just find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Congratulations, Salvador Perez.
Swing and a ball well hit. Left field, way back and gone! He's done it! Salvador Perez, number 318 in his career. He's now the Royals franchise leader in home runs.
The Royals' all-time home run leader plays right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number one on what's trending. The Chiefs held their 8th practice of camp today. No pads, so it was kind of a lighter practice, shorter one. Back in pads tomorrow, Friday for camp. Injury front, same as yesterday, as anybody that was nicked up yesterday, they went ahead and kept out. So still no Cyrus Allen, Xavier Worthy, Drew Tranquill, Bassa, Fulton, Snead, Gelati. A long list continues. Hopefully tomorrow maybe they get a couple of those guys back when the pads are on. We still know that Mansour Delane is wearing that yellow non-contact jersey.
Next up on What's Trending, the Royals winners 2-1 last night behind what we were talking about earlier, Noah Cameron's excellent 8-inning start. They will be back tonight. It'll be Michael Walker on the mound. 6:40 first pitch. You can hear Verdon's On Deck show starting at 5:30.
There's NFL football tonight. Hall of Fame game in Canton, 7 o'clock kickoff. The game's over on NBC. Panthers-Cardinals. First action of the year. First NFL action for Carson Beck.
I'm curious to watch him play a little.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited. Still football, man. Gives me something to have on the background noise later on tonight. But the first drive of Carson Beck, I'll actually watch. After that, it will be kind of just background noise. And you guys were trying to convince me not to make a random wager on the total for the game tonight.
At the very least, bet the over. Have some fun in your life. Next up on What's Trending, 3-time Pro Bowler.
I will get you that number, Drew.
Running back Jonathan Taylor and the Colts reached an agreement today on a 2-year, $44 million extension worth up to $47 million, $39 which is guaranteed. Now everyone expects Jahmyr Gibbs to be next. Reports saying that they are very close and have made serious progress in theirs. I assume it'll be for $10 more than Bijan Robinson signed for. Who do you actually like? Like, if you had to choose a running back to be in the Chiefs, would you rather have Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs?
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Because the catching stuff?
With Andy Reid, I just think it would work. I just think with Andy it would work. Not like Bijan.
I think I'd like Bijan better as the running back, but it's weird. When you talk fit, there is part of me
Gibbs would fit this system more, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's where I think Bijan's the slightly better back.
Okay.
But I do think I would probably end up taking Gibbs for the team.
Drew, the total for tonight, Panthers-Cardinals, 34.5.
Oh, my, that's gross.
I believe 4 straight games have gone over in the Hall of Fame. So maybe it's an under
Trends.
year. Maybe it's an under year. I don't know.
Trends.
I don't know. Defense can get pretty crappy late in these games.
Yeah.
Offense can throw a pick, can fumble the ball.
A lot of mistakes can happen late in a. But the over keeps hitting, I don't know
That
why.
is what's trending.
Just does, man.
On Cody and Gold. Our training camp coverage is presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. After practice today, Nate Taylor stopped by from ESPN. We asked him initially just what Spags had to say about Peter Woods, because Steve Spagnuolo talked to the media and kind of it seemed like was letting us know that, hey, Peter Woods has a long ways to go. If he figures this out, he could be pretty good.
No, he has no choice. I just think he's doing the best job as a coach to temper, a little bit of the excitement, a little bit of the expectations, but nah, man. I saw what he was doing against Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey in 11-on-11 periods. I mean, he absolutely worked. Who was it? Was it Hunter Norzad? Poor Hunter Norzad.
He got beat bad.
Oh, my God.
That's just not a fair matchup.
No, it's not.
Change his number. Still can't hide out on the practice field.
It's so funny. The comparison in my mind, and I think this will make Chiefs fans happy, so I'm not pumping the brakes on any of this, is that the last guy who was a rookie who, when you got in the trenches, when you really got into the pads and the one-on-ones, and, okay, the first time we're really seeing this person, quote-unquote, play football, it just reminds me of Creed Humphrey. Creed Humphrey came in, and I was immediately like, oh.
He can just play.
That's different. Like, he's good. And I knew he was going to be good immediately. That's the same feeling I had with Peter Woods after this first week of pads, where all the physical traits are there. He's intelligent. He's got just a burst to, disrupt things when you're even trying to run the football. He doesn't have to have all of his production be isolated to just pass rusher, but he has a chance to really get in the backfield and make the running back go off course to wherever the play side is. So, No, Spags. No.
Do you think that
bro. he gotta play? He should play like 50% of the snaps.
Agreed.
Different rock rolls.
So the way I look at it, and I guess I'm curious. Yesterday when we were talking about Peter Woods, do you think this opens up the Chris Jones taking an occasional outside rep on a third down?
Yes.
So like the way I viewed it is like it's 3rd and 8. And this isn't out of desperation. This is now an option for us, not desperation like when they had no one to outside rush.
Correct.
And Peter Woods caused problems in the middle. Karlaftis on the outside, Jones on the outside. Is that a crazy look for them this year?
No. And you could – I know Spags has done this earlier in his career, but you could put people like Felix Anudike-Nzama, inside. Yeah. You could do the same thing.
Or Omar Norman Lott if he gets healthy. Like, I see the
exactly.
players.
And, again, depending on what you want to do, you could have – and I've thought about this too, Cody, if he's not rushing from the outside, I actually don't want Chris Jones to be next to George Karlaftis on a 3rd down. I actually want R. Mason Thomas to be on his side, knowing that the protection should slide to him, which should give R. Mason Thomas a one-on-one with whoever that tackle is, whether you want to put him on the left or the right side. You know that Karlaftis is going to use a lot of power to push and maybe collapse the pocket, and you need that guy to come around the edge to, swallow the quarterback to where I think Peter Woods alongside Karlaftis still gives you a lot of juice and a potential one-on-one for Peter Woods, given that the guard in the center, whatever side that is, should be sliding to Chris Jones based on his resume, which should give you, whether you want to keep a tight end or the running back in, a chance for someone to have a one-on-one of the rookie class, whether that's Peter Woods or R. Mason Thomas. So I love the idea that if Chris Jones realizes in the second quarter, hey, the guy I can feast on 3rd down is the right tackle, well, hey, let's line him up as many chances as we can get, from 3rd downs moving forward.
Yeah.
But, they like to use the first quarter and a half for Chris to sort of, move around and sort of see like, hey, what am I feeling today based on what I've seen on tape, and what moves can I do to sort of give us the best chance? Well, it's going to be even more effective, you would think, if he has some young, productive players alongside him to where he can have much more favorable matchups that can open up things for other teammates.
I guess and it's just like they've got more flexibility
Yes.
on the defensive line than they've had in a while, I guess is the way that I view it. Doesn't mean it's going to be a group of all-stars. We don't know yet. Like, who was it today who was complimenting, or yesterday? Josh Simmons had nice things to say about R. Mason Thomas.
Yes.
Who I haven't mentioned a lot, although defensive players are harder to notice on a field.
Correct.
What do you make, I guess, of his development so far?
Well, I still think he's your 3rd down specialist. I don't really want to see him on 1st down.
Sure.
I completely understand why once Ashton Gelati was removed because of his hamstring strain, they immediately went to Felix, because that's who you should put based on veteran status, been in the league for a while. Obviously, this is a contract year for him. So he should be on 1st down. And then you might want to use R. Mason Thomas on 2nd and 3rd down to give you that speed rush, that juice factor. You could even drop R. Mason Thomas back, and I would feel better about it than anybody they've dropped back into coverage ever.
Been a long time.
They had
giving me nightmares of Justin Houston down on Antonio Brown.
Have you heard the same comps?
Oh, come on, freak!
What's
tell
your
the audience?
Because of course, the Albert Breer report was just about he's hearing from Chiefs folks that they believe Cyrus Allen has some similar abilities as a Stephon Diggs. Well, here we are.
Well, now look, in terms of tempering expectations.
That ain't helping.
Steve Spagnuolo can try with Peter Woods. They can't hide their excitement for Cyrus Allen. They can't, which is why I'm so excited to see him hopefully next week when they put the pads on, or maybe even if it's in like a limited capacity either tomorrow or Saturday, right? So if you want to come to training camp, come on down because they'll be back in pads tomorrow, and they'll I think be in pads Saturday as well before they get the off day on Sunday. Now look, I said on this radio show, Puka Nacua was a 5th round pick.
You did.
He was doing Puka Nacua things, guys. He wasn't doing Stephon thing. Now, it's been a while since I've seen prime Stephon Diggs. I think for all of us, like that's around 2020, his first year with Josh Allen with the Buffalo Bills. But no, man, no. I think it's, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you something. there's a clear intention as to why his name came up in comparison, because they've been hearing about y'all asking about Stephon Diggs.
So they're like, guess who we think he is?
Yeah, even though they was never going to call that man. So, give him a little something, I mean, we could say he's like this player or that player, but you know what we could do? We think he's Steph. We think he's.
I mean, it would have been pretty. It would have been pretty wild if it was leaking out. It would have been pretty wild if it was leaking out and they were saying, we actually think he reminds us of Puka Nacua.
You'd be like, oh damn, they were listening to Nate.
They're not gonna do that.
Who do you think?
That's me.
Who do you think like in your mind? Let's take Stephon Diggs off the table.
Okay.
What is his style of play in your mind for the offense? Does he resemble anybody on the unit yet? Is he different than the rest?
He's different than everybody else.
Okay, so what does he do? Or I guess who does he liken to? I guess in the NFL in your mind, is he like the Wes Welker slot guy? Is he the bigger outside Mike Evans-y type? Like what style should I be expecting?
Some people have suggested Keenan Allen, which I think is interesting because he's not the right frame. But in terms of play style, we're like
smaller than Keenan.
Yeah, but like what the consistency is and the production and the ability to. The thing I'm trying to, as I go through this in my brain right now, is the ball skills, getting his eyes to the quarterback, playing for the quarterback, which I think is something that rookies struggle with. Like you're not playing for yourself anymore; you're playing for the quarterback, and the body control.
Anquan? I'm
go.
just like you're describing. Yeah.
You ready? I'm just. Look,
he's just talking style of play. He's not saying that.
I don't know, man. I'm putting a lot of coal in this hype train. Are you ready?
Yeah, I guess so.
Let's hear it.
I mean, I've already said Puka Nacua, so we can't. Yeah. We can't go back. God, this is gonna sound crazy. He's got a little Jamar Chase.
I knew you'd say it, Nate. I knew it. I knew it.
He heard you describing Jamar Chase.
I mean, look. He's got like this blend of, in terms of route running, Adam Thielen, and in terms of body control with the ball in the air, Jamar Chase.
Okay.
I'm just now. Look, we ain't seen him in pads, guys.
Yeah. Like, can we please acknowledge that? Can we just acknowledge that we haven't seen him in pads? He also hasn't practiced in like 4 days.
Yeah.
Look, ladies and gentlemen.
They're taking it easy on him at camp. It seems.
If it don't go so well, hey, I'll be the first to admit it. That hey, maybe I should have stopped putting so much coal in this hype train. But ladies and gentlemen,
how about
he's doing things. Look, for the first 3 days when they weren't in pads. When he was getting extra reps with Patrick Mahomes, he was doing things that Xavier Worthy cannot do. He was doing things that maybe a young Rashee Rice was capable of, but not the same skill set. And also, oh my God, it don't matter who they put on him. Now, yes, they can't jam him at the line of scrimmage. They can't murder him across the middle. They can't really be as physical. But Christian Roland Wallace can't hang with him in man coverage. Noah Williams, hey, thanks for playing, but I just mossed you. I mean, he's their man coverage guy. It's wild. Like,
good, they needed one.
Badly, because they were so bad at beating man coverage last year to where the only way they could beat it was through scheme or please, Pat, extend the play and somebody will get open.
Someone eventually will, yeah.
Yeah, so, look, I hate to be that guy, but, like, can you be – now, again, he might be a little bit more Adam Thielen than Jamar Chase.
Thielen had a nice career. They get Thielen, I'm fine.
Off the line of scrimmage, and from a route running standpoint, that's Adam Thielen. And when the ball's in the air, he got some Jamar Chase, guys.
When you look at let's switch side to the other side, as I'm obviously excited to watch him, hopefully in a preseason game a week from Saturday,
right? In
Cyrus Allen. We just had Jack Cochran on the show. How do you view the linebacker room right now? Is it good, bad, average?
It's pretty.
They're missing Chenal, but they've got some athletes. They got enough to cover it, or how do you view it?
If they had Chenal, I feel really good about the script.
Yeah.
Because Chenal gave them so many options in terms of his versatility.
Just a Swiss Army knife guy.
Yeah, and was always willing to do it, and do his job at a high level, right? That's why he got paid by the Commanders. I think Jack Cochran's an animal, and he already started to annoy some guys. I don't know if you saw here later.
Yeah, they got a little dust up.
Jack, why you?
Spags said he knows everywhere to be on defense. I mean, they might use him that way.
Yeah. Why are you tackling? Why are you tackling when it's a not bad in practice? I love it. So he's bringing the juice. He's bringing the effort. I think it's a real competition between him and Jeffrey Bassa. I would love to see Bassa get back on the practice field. He's dealing with the groin. Hopefully he plays in the first preseason game. But I think Cochran probably has the inside track to get that third linebacker job. And again, if we're going on last year's statistics, that player usually plays about 45% of the snaps because Spags isn't afraid to get in base. But how much of that is going to change if you don't have Leo Chenal?
Yeah.
Compared to, whoever that next player is, if it's Jack Cochran.
I think they'll use Connor that way sometimes.
Right. If it's Chamari Connor, if it's, Cooper McDonald, who's going to be in the mix a little bit as well for the preseason. I really need to see what Jeffrey Boss's role is. Problem is, we only seen him in, one padded practice. Yeah. So it's hard to tell, okay, he's on the 2 line. He's with the second group. Okay, do you want to sprinkle him into the first group? How's that all going to work out? Who's going to play in the preseason? Who's not? We don't know. He's kind of the question mark. But I like Jack Cochran because the more he can play on defense, and I wonder if the intuitive fans know about this, get this man off special teams.
Wow. We asked him about the holding.
He said
last
it's not
year.
the scheme, it's just staying focused.
It's you, son.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't say something like that. He just you just got to do your job.
Hey, how about you just not use your hands this year? I would if
play
I
with
was,
2 clubs, tape them up.
Yeah, if I was Dave Tobe, I'd say just get in front of him. You ain't gotta you ain't gotta assault him.
Get in the way.
Just
but
get
he's
in the
an
way.
animal. He likes to. He's like one of those players that just, like you said, he's hitting people out here, just like that kind of guy.
He's a maniac, and I enjoy. I'm not saying this as a criticism. He's a maniac, and I enjoy him immensely because there was a play yesterday, third day in pads. Everybody's miserable. And he's just I can't wait to hit DeMarcado. Can't wait. And it's you're supposed to thump. And he's not me. I would like to thump, wrap up, and bring you to the ground.
He said he gets in fights with Noah Gray over Settlers of Catan. I don't think he's holding back on the football field. He said it gets a little heated.
No, I enjoy Jack Cochran for everything he is as a football player, and I would remind him that Nico Remigio is going to strangle you if you don't get this right this year, because it was clear to us in the post practice interview with Nico Remigio. He's well, I wasn't as good as I wanted to be, and I want to be one of the best returners in the league. And
need some help.
Yeah, thank you. It's while he was saying it, I kind of wanted to be just say his name.
Every damn return got called back.
Yes, every good return I had. Hey, I got us to the 40, finally. Wait, what? Oh, no, we're starting from the 20 again.
Now, understanding that they've only had a couple padded practices, we haven't had a preseason game yet, you just rattled off a bunch of names that are hurt. Is there anybody, are we too early in camp? Is there anybody that you thought was for sure a lock that's in jeopardy of not making the team? Is there anybody that you thought, man, I don't think he was going to make the team, and now I got to keep a closer eye on? Are we too early for that, or is there a name?
No, I have a name. His name is Jalen Royals.
Yeah.
I'm off that.
Yeah.
I'm off it. I'm going to stay on his neck until I see it in the preseason. And that's the beauty of the sport. He will have his chance.
He gets his chance to prove it.
He gets his chance to prove it against the preseason. Against the Rams
open up, yeah,
and then the Buccaneers. So hey, as of right now, you're not on my 53.
It is interesting now because of the way they do the cuts, Gold. We don't get the let's get rid of some of the riffraff. Let's tighten things up before a preseason game. It is guillotine come the 1st of September essentially. And they just decide who all's going to go at that time. And so it's interesting how much that's changed over the years and how that might change. You don't know. You know less who's at real risk. Is Royals going to make the team, not make the team? Before maybe we thought Felix Anudike-Uzomah, although we all think he's going to make the team now. But so it's interesting because we have to kind of follow closely. I will say, and we had Jack Cochran on. He was really nice. Had fun ripping packs with him, the whole thing. He's got to stop holding on these kick returns. They've got to be so much better in the special teams. You get those offensive stats, the area of improvement for this team is special teams. The main area, more than anything else. Top 5 points per game.
Well,
defense.
You get a shorter field. If you're on a holding call, Remigio gets you up to the 35 or 40. Okay.
At least every once in a while.
That's a possibility instead of getting a penalty and you're now starting at your own 15-yard line or something like that. So, no, that's a huge part of it. And then, of course, Nate was talking about Cyrus Allen, and I'm not trying to suggest that Cyrus Allen can't end up being a very important piece of this team moving forward long term. But the Jamar Chase, the Puka Nacua, he hasn't been in pads yet.
You're not willing.
We got to calm down.
Everyone else is buying in.
We got to calm down.
Why are you waiting to buy in,
I'm buying in that he's going to make the roster and can be the 4th receiver. I'm not buying in that after 6 shell practices that he is about to beat Jamar Chase and Puka Nacua. Sorry.
If they had a baby and were an even better wide receiver.
Now, at the end of the year, we could be talking about being confident enough that he's a number 2 receiver.
That's what I'd like to ask Nate the next time.
But there's a long ways to go till then.
What do you think the odds are? Because I gave you my numbers. What do you think the odds are that he's their main target in the wide receiver room by the end of the year? And I told you 5-10%.
Yeah,
I want to know what Nate Taylor has to say about it the next time we have him on, because it's more
leapfrogging Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy.
It's going to take a lot.
Now, if you tell me Rice is not healthy, Worthy's not healthy, then yes, there's a chance he's the number 1 target in the offense outside of Travis Kelce.
He still has to jump Thornton too, which is interesting because up to this point, Tyquan Thornton would have been the player that you and I would have said was in line for and certainly needed more snaps, targets, reps. All that stuff. We all thought Thornton needed to play more last year. They took him off the field too much.
Yeah, agreed.
Now, Thornton and Cyrus Allen don't do the same thing. So that part certainly makes it different. But they might be sharing more reps than we thought if they do different things depending on the scenario. Because Tyquan was their Alec Pierce. Now, he didn't put up 1,000 yards, but he was their heavy hitter. Of the very few deep passing attempts they were successful in, Tyquan might have been the recipient of 80% of them. He was their deep passing game, or the only consistent part of their deep passing game. So I am more fascinated in this group of wide receivers than one in a while, because convince me that they're a top 7 unit in the NFL or bottom 7 unit in the NFL and anything in between. Genuinely. They are capable of anything in between, Gold, of being one of the 7 best wide receiver units in the NFL and one of the 7 worst. I can't even – how am I supposed to assume that that's not the range? Somewhere between 7 and 23 or 26.
This is the beautiful thing about camp, because this text says, why can't he beat Puka? What round was Puka drafted? Yes, we're well aware of Puka. So here's the problem with that text.
He can be.
The problem with that text to me is, you texted me and said, Puka and him were drafted in the same round. Why can't he be the same? I could also then go cite you about 150 other players as why he can't be Puka. You know what I mean? You're not wrong that, yes, there is a chance.
If you look at every fifth-round wide receiver in the last decade.
But that text saying, why can't he be Puka, they were in the 5th round, I could also tell you, look at all the other 5th-rounders. That's why. So I just need to see it. I'm not suggesting I know what Cyrus Allen's career is yet. I'm saying nobody does yet. Let's pump the brakes, please.
And
That's
then
all.
Maybe you don't want to, pencil him in for Puka Nacua. The best late-round picks probably in NFL history for wide receiver. Antonio Brown in the 6th. Puka Nacua looks like he's heading towards that. In the 5th, Stephon Diggs was a 5th-round pick. If you want somebody else, Marquez Colston, who you might remember for the Saints, was a 7th-round pick. Donald Driver, a 7th-round pick. Tyreek Hill, a 5th-round pick. But, think about how far apart some of those years are. We're talking like 10 guys in 30 years. So maybe he is. And, oh, God. This is the other part that I think sometimes we get confused. Alex and I are hoping he is. I hope he's Puka Nacua.
And by the way,
please,
by November, maybe we're saying, yeah, you know what? He has a chance to be that.
I got to watch him in a regular season.
Guys, he hasn't even had he hasn't even had a padded practice.
Yeah. I got to watch him in a regular season.
And he's hurt right now, on top of it.
Yeah. He's been great. He really has. He stood out of camp. There's no doubt about it. He is clearly going to be a contributor for this year's offense. All of those things seem fairly obvious to me. What the ceiling is, I got to watch him in a regular season game before I make a determination on that.
That's all.
A couple of regular season games. See him for a month. But if he goes out there and in week 2 he's got 7 catches for 70 yards and a touchdown, and then week 3 he goes out for 6 for 50 and 2, it's like, well, then I'll be having a very different conversation.
But, let's say next Saturday he plays against the Rams in preseason.